Hello, everybody. Welcome to the 10th point, season 3. Jesus Christ. Week. Season 7, week 3. I am the Red Mage. Joining me on the line, like every week, is Loman02. Hi, Loman.
Hey, what's going on, Red Mage, and how are you all doing? I'm definitely down for some Canadian Highlander. Looking forward to it.
As
We have any new competitors this week?
excuse me.
Any new competitors this week?
I think we have a few people that are like relatively new to the tournament, but nobody that is just straight up new. We have a couple of people that signed up last week for the first time, or at the very least are new to this season. We are, as Loman mentioned, we are going to play some Canadian Highlander. That is an incredibly sweet format. And if you somehow made your way all the way to this corner of the internet without knowing what Canlander is, exclamation point Canlander will get you to a we'll get you to the point to an explanation video. That should help. What we are doing here at the 10th point is we want to give people an opportunity to play Highlander in a competitive setting that might not have it because they don't have a local shop that offers tournaments, or who does these times, right? So either way, the plan is to have a short short 4 rounds tournament. We have 12 players today ready to go, and then we are going to eventually, at the end of our 10-week season, we're going to have a seasons final with fantastic prizes on the line. More on that later. For now, I just want to remind you that speaking of prizes, a way that we can put this prize on the line is with your subscription. So if you felt like throwing us your Prime sub or your regular sub, we would absolutely appreciate it. These tournaments are free to enter. That is entirely free. So in order to be able to do these things, we kind of rely on the kindness of our viewers. With that said, speaking of tournament being free to enter, what was that noise? Exclamation point Discord will get you to the Canadian Highlander Discord, which is what we run this tournament from. So if you want to have access to announcements on how the tournament is run and when the next tournament is, that sort of thing, exclamation point Discord will get you there. And we'll make sure that you can be set up. And in general, if you're just interested in Canadian Highlander, it's a great way. It's full of great people that can offer you great help with putting the deck together and that sort of thing. With that said, I am going to go ahead and fire up the pairings, and we can see where that leads us.
So looking at the competitors we've got today, Blahguy is probably going to be on some sort of black or red would be my guess. Brahms, not entirely sure. They have been practicing a bit with Storm, so it'd be kind of interesting if we saw them jam some Storm today.
Baby, more combo decks.
Yeah, Einstein varies it up quite a bit. They could be any number of things. I would guess Academy, D&T tended to be their typical decks. Goodpoints, I believe I played the other day. I think they were on a medium variety deck. I might be wrong on that. Loading tends to vary it up, but their go-to deck, I think, has been a mono black tech deck. Luca play pretty much anything. I don't know what they'd be on this time. I mean, normally it's a homebrew of some variety. Reiyu, I think, has had the most success with their black-green mid-range list, and they call it medium Golgari. So we have some interesting stuff going on. I believe we also have Wolfgang here. They'll probably be on a red build of some variety, be my guess. Tends to be what they play. And then Zannty, who has historically been on a blue-red shell. I'm not sure if they vary it up at all.
No, Zannty is kind of on a budget, so he's kind of put together this blue-red deck as a way to get started on Magic Online.
It looks like they've gotten their worst pairing round one, though.
Yeah, it's not great. their pairing situation has improved a lot with the fact that now there's like a cajillion academy players around instead of a cajillion red players around. But they didn't get lucky round one for sure.
Yeah.
What do we want to watch?
I don't think Necro's going to be on Academy today. Whatever you want.
Oh, you
I'm down
think-
with Blahguy versus Necro.
You think Necro and the Blahguy? I think Necro might not have the hand thing. Let me figure that out. Necro, are you able to display hands? I remember she was lamenting earlier that her computer exploded. Gosmith, I see you're in chat. Hi.
Hello.
How goes?
Fine. Just getting everything booted up here so that I can watch what we're going to be watching. Seems
Watch
like
some magic. Well, we're waiting right now. Actually, I think we're waiting to see if Necropotence is able to display their hand.
Let me just
information.
pop in. Oh, Blahguy says no. Okay, yeah.
Okay, yep. Let's just get a different game then, so we're not waiting.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Let's go Symbolman versus Goodpoints. They're both new players. We can
Sure.
we can watch some of that good new blood.
Yeah, 25 minutes later, you still haven't started. But again, it's 1930, right? That's it, my time. So what, 1730 UTC or something that you technically started? I suppose.
Look,
Computer broke. Ow! What the hell?
Do what?
Apparently, Necro's computer broke.
Yeah, she mentioned.
Yeah. He said that it happened another time, or like maybe a couple weeks back. They had their computer.
Yeah, I heard.
Not great.
They're using their the stationary laptop. It sounds like.
Yeah.
Which apparently can't probably support video capture, which makes sense.
Yeah.
Understandable. So who did you say we were featuring instead?
We're doing Goodpoints versus Symbolman.
And what decks are they on, Red Mage? Do we know, or have we not looked at the deck
Let me
yet?
just find out. Let me just.
I think Goodpoints is on Dredge. I think
Okay.
That
sounds about right. I think they were last week as well.
Yeah.
Okay. Now I'm curious why you have opposition pulled up on your computer over there, Red Mage.
How can you see that? Oh, because of the yeah, right.
Camera.
It's just well.
How can you
I
see
mean,
it?
my eyes aren't that great, but I mean they're pretty decent.
It's a test. It's a test card. I've been trying to make to change the way the hard viewer works. So
I had a cold shiver run down my spine. I'm like, oh shit.
He knows too much.
Deranged tournament in play.
I have I want to build a deck.
I'm guessing the stream dropped.
Yeah, it seems so.
The stream is not working. Is there a stream problem?
Yeah, it seems to be bothering on my end at least. Oh.
Should I go offline and then back online?
Oh, it seems to be working on my end now at least.
Yeah, I
Bit buffering, but
I had some stream issues that dropped me from voice.
No.
Oh.
All right, so yeah, we obviously got Dredge going here. We got a Faithful sitting in the bin with a Stitcher supplier, but not a lot in the bin unless you're like on a Loam Conflagrate.
That's a Hermit Druid right there.
That's kind of what you want to see, because my guess would be their one basics probably in play. Maybe they run two.
Likely, yeah.
I don't know. I run 0 in my Dredge build just so the Hermit is just...
Yeah, like you just have that one card win that just says, if this resolves, I just win the game.
Yeah, and against
Just
like
a way to one up some things.
Would appear to be two pretty fair colors, unless they're OPs like on the third color, like black. It's limited to pretty few cards that are going to directly deal with that Hermit Druid, right? At 3 mana. I mean, like, if you jump into black, you got a bunch, or red, but you're looking at Swords of Plowshares, Path Exile, Winds of Abandon. Maybe Deck and Stone. Sometimes they'll play that in like green-white, but I suppose we'll be seeing. Because I'm pretty sure a Lotless Giant off of Narcomoeba and Dread Return is probably lethal.
Yeah, most likely. So what are the common cards you sacrifice?
Well, sacrifice in this case, I mean, it's going to be the Druid. But so there's a couple ways you can do it, right? You can just do it with Hermit Druid, and then if you have a land in hand, you can have Bloodghast, and then you just bring the gas back. Plus the Narcomoeba. You also have stuff like Gravecrawler. So if you have any Zombo in play, you can bring Gravecrawler in, then Gravecrawler plus like the Bloodghast. You can bring back Hogak. You can have a bunch of creatures. You can bring up. Yeah, Narcomoeba is a big one, like because if you're gonna mill your whole deck over, like Narcomoeba will just come out.
Yeah. So in essence, you should probably have like the 3 creatures you need.
I'm not. Yeah, I wouldn't be worried at all about having a number of creatures. It's more, does the Hermit Druid survive, and is there blue like a counter spell that can stop?
It is going to technically survive. It's just going to get bounced though, and not be able to recast for a while.
I'm a little behind. That's a Reflector Mage. Okay.
Yeah, we see a Reflector Mage coming down here.
So
that kind of tells me that we probably look at some sort of like Bant Blink deck for Simple Man, I think.
Could be Bant Blink, could be Bant Blade.
Yeah,
also
we see the hand here. That seems to be a Bant Blink. So
yeah, I'm behind. I'm a little late.
They were on
so
Bant Blink last.
Try updating the camera because I'm also using screen currently.
Yeah, I'm just a little delayed.
I can.
Makes sense.
Yeah. We are.
DT from the Dredge player.
What's that?
We see DT from the Dredge deck. What do you get as a Dredge player?
I get Firestorm here.
Firestorm, interesting.
Yes.
This is a great way to just ditch all of your cards in hand while also just being able to clear. No, we see them getting a land because they needed the last land drop actually.
Yeah.
They only had.
I guess if you need it. Yeah, I'm pretty big on sweeping the board against Blink.
Yeah, I'm with you there. And I think actually, while they can't really cast anything in hand, I think having 2 Dredgers that you can discard is pretty important, and the Amalgam as well. So
yeah.
So I don't think that was actually that important, to be honest.
You don't think what was that important?
I don't think that was that important. Like they had 1 card, they might.
No. I think Firestorm's utterly the right call because you can actually blow up your own Stitcher Supplier at the same time, which sets you up. Yeah, I mean, I think Firestorm was the card I get pretty much every time there.
They didn't really end up needing to kill their own creature.
Yeah, and I think I would have looked to put that Stitcher back in hand.
Yeah, I'm trying to see what we have available cards in the graveyard. We have a Faceless Looting, a Serene's Reclamation made its way into their Gravecrawler, and I think that's it in the cards that you can like immediately either activate a cast in some way or another from the Dredge player.
Yeah, their bin's not that interesting right now. Not the most interesting of bins. They have to be lamenting their decision now when they see this card, which means that basically any turn they play something, it's going to get bounced. At some point, that can become irrelevant based on the bin, but the bin's not very saucy right now.
No, exactly. Like, the one creature that you kind of don't mind replaying every other turn is, like, dead now.
So no, and some of this like matchup, I think, comes down to experience with the Dredge deck as well, and like what lines you want to ping. They're early creatures.
We're getting an Entomb here. We get an Entomb here in hand from Good Points.
I mean, there's a couple ways you can go with that. If you're running a combo and you have Underworld Breach in your deck, you could look to set up a long game plan. Sevine's Reclamation. You know that anything you play out this turn is just going to get bounced, so it's not going to be great.
Yeah. What's it like not getting a white source when you have the Reclamation Graveyard, despite not having the 5 mana?
I don't know that they knew that was in bin at the time. That
it wasn't. It wasn't indeed at the time. Oh, they do find a Scrubland, so that's probably not too important.
That's really weird, because I don't believe Gravecrawler and Stitcher Supplier were, right? Didn't it come in after Stitcher Supplier, or did the Graveyard Order get fucked up by Moto?
Stitcher Supply went to Graveyard prior to the Gravecrawler and the Wreck.
Yeah, so when they DT'd, they didn't know that the Stitcher Supplier died last turn after they DT'd.
Yes, when they DT'd, but when they fetched, because they got a fetched land.
Sure. Yeah, I mean, I would have gotten a white source, but they got it now. You know, I mean, this survival is the kind of card they need. This is an engine card that will allow them to say, I don't give a fuck about your Soul Herder. You know, synergies with Reflector Mage.
Are we playing any of the Madness cards, or the any of the cards that just allow us to just go activate? Slam a
I don't know. I have to look at
mana.
their list. I typically play Basking Root Walla just as a free card.
Exactly.
I tend to play that, but I don't think everyone does. I mean, Dregscape Zombie is sometimes common.
It's a list that already just happens to have like a bunch of discount on this anyways.
Yeah.
So like having a couple of good madness cards isn't that as well.
I've actually been pretty. I think the Jund version is a little more matchup neutral. But I've actually been pretty happy with a bug version of Dredge. Your card velocity is just a lot higher. You have cards like Careful Study, Frantic Search that just really can turbo the Dredge engine pretty quickly. Now, Aven Mind Sensor, a hell of a draw. It's going to stop Survival of the Fittest pretty well.
Absolutely. Yeah, because we could see the Eldritch here though.
They're probably just going to loam, be my guess. I think if maybe not. We'll see. We'll see when they play it. There's definitely a debate as to whether you want to go for.
Oh yeah, just going to estimate. You're definitely Aven Mind Sensoring now.
There's a debate to go for the Eldritch Evolution and turn one of these cards into a Scavenging Ooze, which is also very good in this matchup. I don't think that's a per se a horrible play. Would it be the best in this situation? No, because then Survival gets to go off, and they at least get one activation of Survival. So. One of the issues that these Dredge decks do tend to have, though, is I think one of the ways you can go wrong in building them is not having enough cards like Abrupt Decay or Assassin's Trophy in your deck, which are not really any good with the engine, but they do stop, cards that will stop you that are on board, like Scavenging Ooze, for instance, or Deathrite Shaman. Shaman to a lesser extent, but Ooze, once their engine gets going and they have this many cards in the bin, generally speaking, it's just going to work, but Ooze, if it can get started in the early to mid game, can really show stop the entire deck.
If you're in a good points position here, you see your opponent with the blink deck seemingly, or at least a Bant deck, just passing with 5 mana open, not even attacking without Elvish Mystic.
I think Chord of Calling is what I'm thinking.
Chord of Calling, yeah.
That's the card I'm thinking. Because it's not really out of the woods. But it's also assessing that based on my knowledge, right? Like, I could go two ways with assessing what their deck run. I would assume Bant Blink by this point, but I think there's a decent argument that they could also be on a deck like Allurin, which plays all these cards as well.
You install her in Allurin as well.
Yeah, hell yeah. You run
sense.
it. You run Charming Prince. You have a lot of ETB cards. That's pretty good. Let's see if they can hit. Sometimes you get lucky. You got to feel bad playing a Survival of the Fittest, and then
yeah, it seems like we have a miss in the voting catacomb here, as far as I'm aware.
Yeah, that said, there was an option to actually play around this sequence by getting non-fetch lands, which I think would have been better. I can see the appeal to getting some number of fetch lands because they do, thinning is a relevant statistic for Dredge decks specifically.
Yeah, what do we have in the yard that don't? Nurturing Peatland?
Well, you just essentially look at it as you're drawing, like when you get Golgari Grave Troll down, you're drawing 7 a turn, or 6 a turn, whatever it is, you're drawing 7. So, when you're looking at that many draws, essentially, you want less of them to be lands, and it is a significant enough statistical difference at that point. But I think you could have gotten cards like Plateau or any of the non-fetch lands that were in the bin.
What it was a bit awkward about the last one as well is the fact that you just kind of allow yourself to get blown out here. You don't present any damage on the board to block.
No, my thinking was Chord of Calling, or it was either that Resto Angel or some.
Spellseeker, new form. Are we going to just see
this would be a win. So they have 6 mana available. So what they're going to do is Ephemerate on the Spellseeker. They'll find Time Walk with the Spellseeker. And then on the following turn, they actually do not have a 2-drop in play, which is actually kind of problematic.
And
so
even we have a Soul Herder. We have a Soul Herder, which can just blink EOT and come back your Time Walk on the E.
On what? No, how it'll work is this. Hold up. Let me explain how it works. So what's going to happen here, because they have 6 mana, they can do it, is they'll find Eldamri's Call with on the next turn when this flashes back. They'll Eldamri's Call for the Eternal Witness. They are going to need to have 1 additional mana, which they have in hand, so that once they play the Eternal Witness, they can get back the Ephemerate, target the Eternal Witness they find off the Eldamri's Call that was found off of the Ephemerate in Upkeep. On the Seeker. Okay, they just give up. Yeah. But anyways, that's how it was going to work. They have to use Eldamri's Call because they didn't have a 2-drop. Now, if they draw a 2-drop, they can actually go 1 mana efficiency less with the deck. At the end of the day, I think, a learning point in the matchup was how do you use that demonic tutor? And I think, getting a land seems very reasonable there. I think you wanted to be able to deal with their board as it stood, and also set up your engine long game. But I don't know.
That's definitely a question you really have to ask yourself when you're playing like deck like Dredge is like, how much do I want to just focus all in on my own engine here? Like, if you're going all in, like, then there's someone playing like a aggressive or tempo deck can just really punish you. But if you always tend to go like, don't focus on your engine at all, then why are you playing an engine deck? So it's really finding that like golden point, like that real.
The fair game plan that Bant. This is not a Bant Blink deck per se. This is a Time Walk deck. It's going to have some Blink elements to it. I think it's kind of honestly just the good version of Bant Blink right now. It's just a Time Walk combo deck. Now they're going a little bigger with like Rakdos, which I think is not going to be great in this matchup. But that man is horrible. Oof.
Yeah, that's what you want to see.
I'd probably keep that. I'd probably keep that, and then just try to go big on the Crypt Breaker. Their interaction package is pretty small on the other side. One of the cards that can be relevant in this matchup is like both the graveyards are actually pretty relevant in this matchup. The Dredge deck is not going to have intrinsically as much removal as like a standard mid-range deck due to the engine cards, but they're going to have probably access to Cling to Dust, would be my guess in their main deck, which is a relevant card in this matchup if they can find access to that. I actually don't mind keeping it. You're on 6.
Yeah, like we saw last game, the Time Walk combo is a combo that relies on the graveyard, having a card coming back continually from there.
Yep. Or creature kill, but you're not going to have as much of that. I mean, you may have some, but that was a good draw. That's going to allow them to probably find.
Mystic helps a lot.
I don't know what you find here though, because you want to find a blue source realistically with this.
Well, you got to find a Savannah. If you do that, and you can't play a Mystic, so you either get a green or blue.
I'm just saying it's going to be a long-term issue. I think is finding access to blue mana, but they've got the wall next turn.
Well, I will have to be right back.
Sure.
In a bit. Not sure how long. See ya.
Take your time.
All right, see you in a bit. Hopefully they get this fetch land out of the way now before it gets into even Mind Sensor range.
Yeah, I think even Mind Sensor has to be pretty on their mind after what happened game 1, right? Like I would guess that's
they don't play around it. They don't play it now.
Well, I mean, worst case scenario.
Which I really dislike this play from the standpoint. I think this is a very poor play from the standpoint that you have a Wrenn and 6 in play, and if you are to draw another red or green source next turn, depending on how you guess with the Windswept Heath, then you're not going to be able to play your Wrenn and 6 and get value off of getting back these fetch lands. So I think this is just a misplay, straight up.
I see.
I think there should have been a fetch now, and you probably would have gone for Taiga. And you could still activate your Crypt Breaker and discard your Prized Amalgam or whatever. Because I think ideally what you're looking to do is set up a draw engine with the Crypt Breaker. Now, there's a possibility. All right, they go for Eternal Witness first to get their own fetch land back. So it looks like they're possibly not going to be punished for it. But, again, I really dislike that play.
I don't think have I ever seen this Prized Amalgam?
Because here we go. Like this would have been an additional land in hand had we played out the Windswept last turn. So we'll see what they do now. Hopefully they play the Windswept this turn and don't run directly into the stupid Mind Sensor again. And on the following turn they should have their draw engine.
Overgrown Tomb is the land of play.
Yeah, okay.
No fear of the Mind Sensor.
Well, yeah. Huh. I wouldn't be shocked if there's a block here. No, they're not going to do it. I guess they want to have access to Restoration Angeling it. My guess would be, do they leave up Resto or do they go for the mana ramp this turn on the Renegade Rallier?
Well,
I think I'd probably leave up. I think I would probably leave up. You can rest. You can Renegade Rallier on the next turn, I suppose. You can also use it as
you can also like you can rest the Renegade Rallier if you want and ramp even farther.
I think the more proactive play, because you do the forest there, is actually to leave up Restoration Angel to try to actually start getting some damage in and blocking some of these zombos out if they get greedy and keep on attacking. It looks like they're going to go for a more benign play and like just play out the wall. If you're going to make this line of play, you play out the wall as well. It is more mana efficient as well, which is of note.
How to be clear, in a matchup like this, how if you're the Bant deck, how much are you trying to go all for the combo as fast as possible, and how much?
Quick as possible.
Also, this is just a matchup where you're just trying to combo off. You're not trying to like maybe like go for your mid-range plan. Try to
well, it depends, right? Like this game right here, like I'm all about just smashing them down because like they're not doing that much. Like, and I don't want to give them time so that they can get this Crypt Breaker to a point where it's actually drawing them 2 cards a turn, which is going to be dangerous. As it stands right now, they're just making a 2/2 every turn, which is really not that big of a deal. I mean, as you can see, like their cards template really well. The Bant players' cards template very well against that. And there's an Anger. But I think what you'll end up seeing this turn is probably Renin 6. I wouldn't mind blowing up the Mana Dork or blowing up the Eternal Witness here. And then just leaving back the Zombos to block and then tapping them in response to the attack at post blocks to draw some cards.
Yeah. You got to trade for some stuff.
Yeah. Like I said, I think I'd just rather get rid of their mana, probably kill their Mystic here. I don't mind trading Zombo tokens for the Eternal Witness and the Renegade Rallier.
Yeah, I mean, the talents are pretty expendable, right? It's a little awkward.
The Zombos...
the
Zombos are pretty expendable.
Yeah. Like, if you trade one out, it's a little awkward because... But, like, look at the heads that they discarded, right? There is a Prized Amalgam that comes back from the graveyard, a Scrap Hip Scrounger that comes back from the graveyard, and an Anger that you want in the graveyard anyway. Like, this is fine.
Really, all they need now is, like, one Dredger that they can discard, and they can start kind of going to town. All their critters are going to have haste now. So if they get like a Hogag, that's a dangerous one. What my curiosity is, if they go for just Thragtusk this turn, do they just go for a Tusk? Or do they play out the Brago and try to go for a long-term value plan?
I mean,
me personally, I like
a lot of value on this board. Granted,
it also threatens the Renin 6. I don't think you want to make a play as passive as just playing Avid Mind Sensor and Watcher for tomorrow. We might see that. They may leave up Mind Sensor and Watcher for tomorrow, but I think you're giving them a lot of time with an onboard draw engine. Two basically onboard draw engines. You've got Renin 6 is a card engine, and then you have a literal draw engine in the form of Crypt Breaker with these 3 Zombos now on the board. It looks like they're going to go for Brago. Okay. Which I think is reasonable. The only downside to playing Brago at this point is that you're not going to be able to kill the Renin 6 with 1 attack step next turn. It's one of the least mana efficient lines of play. They're also not going to attack. So my assumption would be we dredge here, or not dredge, but we draw here off the Zombos. Lose a life and draw a card. That's not a bad one. That's another creature in the bin, which allows you to bring back the Scrap Heap Scrounger and effectively the Prized Amalgam as well. And a fetch land. Cool.
Thanks, Reiyu, for subscribing to the 10th point for your 2nd month. We really appreciate it. Zannty, if you want to join in commentary while Gosmith's gone, yeah, by all means. That's gonna let me do some card viewer stuff with a little bit more freedom.
Okay.
I think what the line of play is going to be here, or should be here, is probably Neonate first, leave the land in hand just in case you draw something that's exceedingly relevant like Firestorm, although at this point it's going to be a little awkward. You don't have enough lands. Maybe Loam.
Aren't you just pitching this land to Neonate? Sack this Neonate now?
Well, you could also tap your Zombos if you wanted more options. I think I would pitch the land because I have Renin 6 in play. And Firestorm is not going to have high enough cap in hand. You need like a Loam to really get that going.
Mm-hmm.
But the board on the opposing side is going to be a problem if they don't start putting some like real aggressive power down. So I think you do sack Neonate here, pitch the land, and then see what you get.
And you can bring back Scrap Heap Challenger even on this
Yeah.
turn, back Amalgam.
Yeah, the issue is you still don't really have a great attack step, right? And the Brahguy is going to start grinding cards. Next turn, it'll blink a Rakdos, which is pretty bad. That's a good one. You'd rather not have it in hand, but you could discard it here, I suppose. Discard it and then draw this turn. You still have a land drop, so you're still not dead to that. I think you actually discard it here with Crypt Breaker. Tap Crypt Breaker, discard it, and then tap the Zombos, try to redraw it. That may be really aggressive.
He's gonna scrap heap Scoundrel, get back prized amalgam, right? And then you can plus your Ren and 6, get back the wasteland, and still Golgari here.
Well, you're wasting your fetch land, but I think the more aggressive line of play is to actually pitch the Grave Troll with the Crypt Breaker, making another 2/2. Tap the 2/2, tap the unhasted 2/2 and the other 2 2/2s. Draw the Grave Troll. All right, this is an attack step. That way you're actually dredging this turn.
I don't really like this attack.
No, I don't either. I think you need
blocks.
I think you'd rather ditch the Grave Troll and then take a draw step with it. This very turn. Yeah, it's pretty free blocks to get 5 in.
Yes.
What is there a rule about starting a new match before game 3?
Yes. If after the way that things work is after game 2, if the match is 1-1 and you want to start a new match to make sure that the things don't end to time, you may start the match on game 3. You may start a new match in game 3. Preserve play draw.
The issue that we're going to run into this game is going to be that Rakdos will come down, start making an additional 3/3 every turn, and be gaining 10 life. Yeah, 10 life this turn, 5 life every turn. Yeah. So that's pretty problematic. That's kind of why. I mean, I do that from my perspective. I think going for the Grave Troll line was a lot stronger here.
I did prefer playing the Rakdos last turn just to gain that extra life.
I didn't mind the Brahguy play. I think there was an argument to an earlier Resto play as well. Brahguy does have to, I believe, damage them, right? So it can't actually kill the
damage, not just combat?
Yeah, I don't believe it's just attack. So the Ren and 6 will stick around here. They also get back a land. You get to draw another card. And it's looking like the Bant deck is kind of doing everything that it wants to do. I'm not sure what the line was, this Golgari Grave Troll. Maybe they were considering that like they could hold on to it and like hard cast it, but it's going to be a 0. I feel 1/1 at this point, which is not great. The Dredge deck does need to combo out now. Like
this whole upkeep make a zombie so you can discard this Golgari Grave Troll before?
Hell yeah. Yeah, no, I think it should have been done last turn. I don't that attack. I didn't agree with either. I think you could have attacked maybe the Scrap Heap.
I liked plussing the Ren and 6 last turn so you could get back your prize Amalgam and Soul Scrap Heap Scoundrel and also Grave Troll.
Sure. And I like that too, but I really like doing the Golgari first because if you hit like Bloodghast or like Hogak, you can get like Bloodghast back and then like off your last remaining untapped zombie that you used to draw the card to actually dredge there. You set up a powerful line.
Dread Return and a Bloodghast.
Yeah, and this is kind of what you need to have happen. Is that a survival of the fittest? Okay. So they did not get another Dredge card of note. And it's important to note that, like, at this point, they could have had access to 2 Dredges, right?
Yeah.
Which is pretty big. They did another Dredge card. I think they're in a much better spot because they can turn these zombies sideways. They actually have 4 zombies right now that are untapped. All right, so they get that back. Cool. Get back their Ghast. Makes sense. Dread Return, not really doing anything cool here.
Not yet.
I guess you could Anjay's Ravager. You could bring back the Ravager, which would not be like the worst. If you bring back Ravager, you can sack the Scrap Heap, the Prized Amalgam, and the Bloodghast. You can fetch, bring back the Bloodghast, bring back the Anjay's Ravager with the Dread Return, and then recast the Scrap Heap Scrounger, probably sacking off, I guess at that point, Anger. And then the Prized Amalgam would come back at EOT, so you'd have the same net number of creatures, but you'd lose the Anger, which is not like the worst line of play, but it's not the best either. But the Ravager is going to allow them to kind of turbo through their cards and possibly get somewhere. So I don't mind this line of play. They sack a zombie instead. Okay. Seems sensible.
I like the zombie, keeping the zombie around because you can draw a card with it. And the Scrap Heap Scoundrel's not.
Well, the Zombo will come back, right? The 3/3 will. Now, if I think that their problem is here is they're looking to try to attack in, or they're
but
looking
the zombie
to have
comes back taxed, so it can't.
It does, but it doesn't beforehand. So beforehand, it did not, right? So like if you tapped it before combat and you wanted to get that draw, you could do that. My guess is they want to just leave back as many blockers as they can. The reason they didn't sack the Scrap Heap Scroungers because they knew they didn't want to sacrifice their anger to get it back, and they're looking to high roll off of the Anjay's Ravager draws here. I think they're going to discard this hand and then redraw a Golgari Gravetroll and hope to high roll into like some Hogax or something. It's my guess. Or they're looking to go for the Lotleth kill. The Lotleth Troll. Not Lotleth Troll. The Lotleth Giant kill plan. Which is also reasonable. The Bloodghast attack doesn't make any sense. That should stay back. Actually, neither does the Scrap Heap Scrounger. Basically, you just want to attack.
Throwing things into a wall here.
Yeah.
Like so, you have a 2/4, a 0/4, and a 5/3.
Well, I can kind of see some of their rationale for it. I mean, like these two cards can't block, so it's like, what are you doing with them if you're not blocking with them? That said, like it's not that helpful. All right, so you can at least get the Fiend Artisan down. Fiend Artisan is very castable in this board position.
Probably quite sizable. Myra Triton.
Yeah, well, Fiend Artisan, what is it going to get back for them? What is it going to find for them that's that relevant? The Hermes in the Kipper. So I think it's going to be Lotleth Giant kill or bust, and it's going to have to be over the course of this next turn cycle. I don't think they have another turn to wait because I think their OP will outgain them. Most of these decks can do about 28 to 32 damage with Lotleth Giant. But of note, their Dread Return's already burned, so that's gone. But their attacks are a bit limited on the ground. That is an 8/8 Fiend Artisan, which is a big boy.
Well, you're gaining 9 more life this turn, going up to 25 with the Bant player.
Yeah. 8 to my knowledge. Why would they gain 9?
Well, it's 5 from Thragtusk.
I guess you could do more. You could do like
Kitchen Finks.
You could actually gain more than 9. So if you play Kitchen Finks out pre-combat and then you play Restoration Angel targeting the Thragtusk, you can gain 5, 8 plus 5. I'm sorry, 5, 7. You gain 14 this turn because you can blink the Kitchen Finks and the rest. Actually, I think it's even more than that.
You gain 8, and then you can gain another.
You can gain 14
8,
plus 5.
and then
19.
you can gain another 5. So
you gain 19 life. Yeah.
Is it 19 or 21? I think it's 21 actually, but
I think it's 14 plus 5, so 19. I'm pretty sure, unless I'm missing something.
It's 7. It's 7. Yep.
Yeah, 7, 14 plus 5.
They don't do anything before combat though, which is interesting.
Well, it's good for the Dredge player. It's a mistake in my opinion. Actually, not a mistake. It's literally a mistake. I think they should have utterly cast this card.
I don't know if casting the Resto. I can argue not casting the Resto, but this Kitchen Finks I think is just
not in this matchup. There's just not a ton of removal, and they're already kind of basically hellbent. We know their hand consists of Golgari Gravetroll and X. And if it's Firestorm doesn't have enough card capacity in hand to actually be useful at this point. Conflagrate could be a card you're possibly worried about, but there's no life from the loam to actually power the Conflagrate. So, like, as far as sweepers go, the Dredge deck has kind of those two cards to sweep. They could also play, like, Noxious Dreams or whatever the black 1 card that, does two for every card you discard to everything. They could play that, but I doubt they are. Not a ton of removal in the Dredge deck, so it's. I think you just
get a combo with the call here.
Seeker's reasonable. Yeah, you get Seeker, and then look to Restoration Angel Seeker, or you get Seeker and just get straight up Ephemerate Time Walk, and then just kill them. Like that will kill them. I don't see what they got here. Evidently, it hasn't populated their hand. It is a Seeker. So yeah, you get Seeker, Ephemerate, Time Walk, and next turn
Ephemerate,
far more than 6 mana available, so you can very easily kill them with numerous cards. the one that I would probably do for mana efficiency's sake is Neoform, which can sacrifice the Seer, the Watcher for Tomorrows, and you can find your Eternal Witness getting back the Ephemerate to get back the Time Walk in an infinite loop.
Yeah.
So that should be game. The Dredge player will probably see it on the next turn. They'll probably notice what's going on here. They may make him show it to him, but I think they showed it to him last game pretty effectively.
Was this game 2?
Yes. Yep. And there was a combo kill in the first game.
Yep.
The first game, I think, definitely very winnable. The second game, and there were some sequencing errors, but outside of that, I don't know that the Dredge player was going to
regrowth
hit the line.
Regrowth.
You just get Neoform or
they got regrowth off of the Spellseeker.
That's fine. They can get back it. All right, I didn't see it. They can get back Eldamri's Call here as well. That's fine. And
they got back Elvish.
Was the Ewit already in there?
Ewit. Yeah. Ewit's in the graveyard, so they get back Ewit. They play Ewit. They get back Ephemerate, target Ewit, get back Time Walking.
Same loop. Yeah. Over. A lot of the ones I play will actually like jump into black a little bit just for cards like Unearth. I also like playing Abrupt Decay in these lists just because I like having access to that. I think there's a lot of cards that can just hose you. Like Scavenging Ooze. So that looks like it's a match. Pretty tidy 2-0 win. I'm sure there's probably still some going on. What do we got, Red Mage?
We should still have... we are going full loop. We should still have Necro versus Blahguy.
All right, let's jump in there.
Well, we can't get everything going, but we can get like the game at least.
Yeah, we can still chat the game. I mean, I don't think it shouldn't be beyond us to generally know what's going on.
Necro is playing Mono Blue Throne, it looks like. How exciting.
Yes, it does seem like she's been playing that in the tournaments these last couple of weeks. Which,
well,
no,
just
no,
looking
she was on.
Is this a lethal attack?
Yeah, this looks like a game over.
No, that was.
That is lethal, by the way. It's one over lethal.
Okay.
Yeah.
Was that game 2?
It has to have been game 3 because they are in a new match. So.
Okay.
Alrighty. Well, that looks like game. Yep.
Alright.
Fair enough.
I was about to say when we joined that game that the board position looked really good for Blahguy, and then I realized it was just lethal on board. I was like, oh.
Yeah, really good as it turns out.
It's beyond really good. It's dead.
So I'm gonna wait for the results to percolate into our Either Hub tournament. Also, I have to say, shoutouts to Either Hub that they have made running this event a little bit easier with by running the tournament online, by having a place where the tournament can be run without having to do all of the things that was done before. It has simplified things a decent bit. Okay. Luca and Loring. I have Luca winning. I have Loring winning 2-0. Is that correct?
Yes.
Okay. Sorry. Just double checking because the result had not been confirmed by the opponent. So I wanted to make sure. Submitted result. Loring to Luca 0. Perfect. Okay. And let's go to next round. Auto pairings.
Oh, it looks like Reiyu had a turn 1 Elder Gargaroth.
Yeah, and got immediately pathed.
It got pathed, yeah. At least you have another land. Then you can cast your 6-drop on turn 2. You cast your, like, Garuk. Or whatever.
Lovely old 5 mana.
To be fair, that is why I don't like
the hand. A card. Get a land.
That is why I don't like the hand Elder Gargaroth, because like it doesn't do anything when it comes to play, and then they path it, and you're like,
yeah.
Oh.
Like I think it's fun in like a medium green list, like on CS5 drop, but I don't love it.
Gonna make an.
I think it's a fine meta call. I think it's a fine meta call. I think if you play that turn 3 against a red deck, they're just gonna die.
Yeah, aggro and some mid-range decks, I'll be more than happy to.
Like, there you go. I don't want to cast at turn 1. That's 100% true. Like, because like their hands fully loaded. They're like, well, I got this Swords of Plowshares. Here you go. I got it. Or Angrass Rampage or whatever. You know.
That if you can keep following that up, like thread after thread after thread, like I'm fine with that.
Yeah, the issue with those style of hands, so like that's one of the issues you have with like the all points hands, like when they're on fast mana, is like they don't, like they have to like literally top deck it every turn, which is like a struggle, right? Because like that's just top deck 2 lands, you're like, all right, I'm dead.
That's one of the downsides I've found of the Mux Ruby Black Rose's hand when I'm playing one red on the good old no price pointing. It's like you'd find that like you could definitely have some games where like that was like pretty powerful, and you have some really solid curves.
It was really good against combo. Like against decks that weren't going to interact with your plan, it was great. Yeah. Decks that were doing their own thing didn't care.
You don't have the cards. Like,
or like you're playing against Jeskai and they go, like plateau, forked bolt, turn 2, lightning helix. It's like, well, all of that was fucking killed, and you're like, oh, back to square one, down a card.
Mux Ruby was never really a problem. It's the other ones, the ones that either require you to exile a card, discard a card, or that have downsides like being points and such, usually.
All right, so we got Einstein versus good points. Not good points. Please wait here. Loading.
Yeah, that's loading.
So going with the turn 1 Oath of Nissa, probably trying to find a threat because their hand looks like it has plenty of mana. They don't find a threat. They find a land. Both players appear to be playing very grindy decks. I can't exactly see Einstein's hand, but I can see a Land of War Emissary, Removal Spell and Unearth, a Reaver. Are they playing Bailite's deck?
Yeah, I was going to say, I think this is Bailite playing, actually.
Well, it's a bit of Bailite's deck.
Clearly.
Bailite is not here this week, unless he's in incognito.
I think we confirmed that Bailite and Einstein were the same person or something. Wasn't that what we came to the conclusion of? Seems about right.
Yeah. Did they play in the same tournament against each other? I guess they never played, right? Because I think Einstein wasn't in the same bracket.
I think we have had them playing against each other during the regular season.
I'm just joking around. I know it's not the same.
I know.
It does appear they're playing the exact same deck, though. Tassiger, not a common card to see. Well, not the rock, just like an Abzan control.
I mean, loading is on rock. Loading is on straight up rock.
That I acknowledge, yes, yeah. And I think I'm curious to see how this game ends up going. I would actually be happy if someone blew up my Tarmogoyf if they're looking for lands. All right, yep. They get there, they find their land, they'll be able to play out the Land of War Visionary more than likely this turn, try to find their next land drop and just get up on mana. They're probably pretty happy if it dies to whatever. I think they really just want their land drops here. The Midnight Reaper is kind of interesting against the rock, though. It can be a problematic magic card for the rock.
Look. Land of War Visionary is an incredibly powerful common.
Mm-hmm.
One of the strongest commons we've seen that isn't like a removal spell of some sort.
Yeah.
In quite a while. But is it good enough for Highlander outside of maybe like Hoof? Is it good enough?
Here's the thing, right? Like, if folks are bringing red deck wins every week, yeah. The problem with cards, so the issues that I run into, like when I assess decks, like the ones that Bailite tends to run, are like the Rock, for instance, is that they're very powerful decks against other fair strategies. You put cards like Hymn to Turek and Collective Brutality in there, but let me tell you, as someone who's played a lot of Storm, it doesn't matter. You're like, cool. Like, you really have to high roll like a double mock start into a Mind Twist to really screw me up on Storm. Like, even if you're sequencing your removal correctly, like, your clock's just not fast enough. So, well, cards like Land of War Visionary, in my opinion, are like pretty great against decks like Red Deck Wins, where you're like, I have to kill this thing, but it already drew a card, so it represents intrinsic value, and eventually they're going to cast an Obstinate Baloth-like card, or a Kitchen Finks, or a Camball, but I have to kill that at disadvantage. And eventually you just grind them out, right? I think you are able to grind them out. Now, this deck goes a little bigger than I would tend to go to beat that matchup, but in general, these decks are going to be very good against fair decks. Where I think they languish, and kind of what they basically, as a meta call, pretty much fail to acknowledge, is that, like, there are decks out there that they just don't beat. Like, it's a very hard matchup for them to beat. I'm not going to say ever, but, like, because it's Highlander, it's powerful, but it's tough. Now, Himmaturek was a hell of a pull. That's probably going to allow them to pull ahead here, depending on the next draw step. It is going to make the Goyf pretty big, but as we can tell right now, they've already got the answer to the Goyf. And my guess would be, with them playing the land out main 1, there's probably no reason to allow this thing to smack you. I'd probably just end up
like
killing
with
it.
the opponent had no cost in hand, really didn't have anything.
They're off the top deck. I mean, what's the difference between 5 and 6? I mean, there are some cards they probably run that are 6 drops. But
it's awkward that you have to get an Overgrown Tomb here due to the position of your mana.
No, you get
it's not the end of the world.
Yeah.
Unless you play a Blue Souls. Gotta get in underground sea, apparently. I'll just know.
I mean, I wouldn't be shocked if Bailite ran a blue source and ran engineered explosives in their deck.
Once again,
Like,
getting
actually
a
singular blue source and the singular red source for the Golos.
No, I acknowledge it's Einstein piloting, but this is I'm just telling you, this is Bailite's deck.
Yeah.
They're playing Bailite's list.
Oh, without a doubt, this.
Everything. This just has everything that all the weird cards that Bailite plays. I'm like, yeah, these are all Bailite cards. I'm like, yeah.
Midnight Reaper being a key example of this, I think.
I've been playing
a mid-range deck personally.
What's that now?
No, I was saying I've been playing a bunch of Bant Ramp in Gladiator, and it turns out that even with Field of the Dead Band, it's still fine to run Golos with 1 red Triumph and one blue and 1 black Triumph, and you'll draw 1, you'll Golos for the other one. Golos will activate every time without any.
Yeah.
Under no circumstance, the next turn that Golos isn't tapping 7 mana and casting the drop trick.
Well, it's pretty low downside to play. And there are any doubts. There are any doubts. There's an Antico Monastery.
yeah.
All-star.
That never
I would say that's Bailite's signature card, but that is.
That is a 1 card where I'm like,
why are you playing this? Why? I don't understand.
What expansion was Antuho Monastery even in?
Odyssey or Torment, one of those old ones that had Threshold in it. All right, so they go ahead and pack it in. Him and Jurek really did a number there. It got their basically their 2 power, their 1 power removal and their 1 power card, which they were hoping to go away with or take away with the game. The Rock deck's going to have more haymakers at their top end. They just need to draw them or find ways to get to them.
Yeah. Shelby made a point of that. Loading is usually, I believe, on a bit of a budget list, if I'm not incorrect.
Yeah, they could be. But I mean, I think they're on a double box deck, right?
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, Rock's already fairly budget. I don't think, I'm trying to think of what the really expensive cards are going to be in the Rock. Maybe Questing Beast is really still expensive.
Yeah, mostly the mana base, really.
Fair.
Of course, because Font Seas can definitely.
Yeah, but you can also afford
maybe some of the Linianas.
You can afford to do some, you can afford to have some stuff from your mana base because you're a 2-color deck, so your mana is not going to be terrible.
Yeah, absolutely.
And especially, this is not a deck where you're trying to have, turn 4 Cryptic Command, turn 5, Chandra Torch of Defiance nonsense, right?
Yeah.
You are...
For that sake, could free Mantis Rider.
Yeah, you're going to, in Blue Moon, your mana tends to be, even if you're a 2-color deck, tends to be dog shit because you're trying to cram, 20 basics in your deck.
What do y'all take here? I think I would just take the Thoughtseize.
Yeah, I like taking the Thoughtseize
here, because I really do not care to go for the throat. The Mythos could be annoying based on what I play and how many, important non-creature opponents I play. Titania we sadly cannot take. That would have been lovely. That card's actually quite scary.
I mean, it's either Seas or Mythos, right?
Absolutely.
I like the Seas here.
Yeah, I think I agree with you.
Yeah.
They have 2 very comeback from behind cards in hand, and I wouldn't mind safeguarding those.
And that Vindicate just makes me even happier.
Oh, but it's uncastable.
Yeah. Yeah, most of their hand, honestly, in my opinion, Einstein's hand was a little bit greedy.
It's one of those.
Gaia's Cradle's really not an exceptional opener card in this deck, in my opinion. It's kind of a late game card that just it's a good card with cards like Tireless Tracker, where you just need excess mana to crack loose and make more cards and stuff like that. It's really not a great Cradle deck.
Yeah, it's supposed to be something exactly like the Cradle Hoof decks, where Gaia's Cradle is basically just always forest at the very least. This deck
Like,
can
I
actually
mean,
be a
in
deadline.
general, it feels like this is the deck where it's trying to make its threat stand on its own, right? So you're like trying to, oh, I have this like very powerful creature that maybe costs me 2 or 3 mana, and what I'm trying to do is just winning the game by it itself, and I'm probably not gonna try to overextend too much. And the Cradle, which kind of hampers how good the Cradle is, probably still good enough to play. But you don't expect it to tap for 28 mana. If it
Do you
makes
love
2
this
or 3,
double whole removal spells we're seeing here from both players? This is gonna be a
Yeah,
case of who,
I think in
wants to play the
general,
most.
depending on who draws their lands first, is going to be benefited. Obviously, Loading's hand just needs mana. It can come back from pretty much anything. I mean, we basically have 3 Pernicious Deeds between the 1 on the board and the 2 in hand. You get some card
Exactly.
advantage in the form of him to Turek, and then Fatal Push can deal with something, But it's really just going to be a mana fight. So if Einstein just rips lands for a while, they're probably going to jump ahead or pull ahead here. Fetching, in my opinion, is a little bit hasty here. I think I would wait on the fetch. Just, it's very marginal. Obviously, like, thinning's not a huge deal, but, like, what's the upside to fetching right now? I guess you can kill 1/2 of the Finks, which to me is kind of like, okay. I guess it's fine. Maybe they expect that they're going to have to be spending their cards next turn because they're not going to have any more relevant plays, so they just want to get it out of the way now. I don't know.
Yeah, at this point you just want to find a 5th land, get back to
There you go. There's the next land. Yeah, they rip lands.
Yeah. Would you have vindicated the deed on that board?
Are we gonna see this as time to go to graveyard?
No, but now we're gonna. I don't think I would have, but
There's
I think
no
you'd
way
wait.
you gotta stop anything here.
This hymn could either be backbreaking or utterly useless. We'll see.
I go on the side of closest to utterly useless.
The Mythos was the Mythos and the Vindicate were the next 2 best thing. I mean, it did get the worst card in their hand, which was the land that does nothing.
Oh, congratulations! Now forest temporarily.
Yeah.
And the horrible thing here is that, yeah, okay, actually no, you could definitely shaman your own cradle now. Congratulations.
Well, you can actually attack and see if you can like be a sneaky fucker and get their treetop village, which would be pretty funny because it will kill lands. It'll kill lands that are creatures. So you actually have an attack here. Oh, that'd be hilarious. If they did it. Like, I can block you. Aha. Einstein's a solid player, though. They're not going to fall for that that chicanery. Although it'd be great if they did.
It would be extremely fun.
Dean is just gonna threaten that treetop village as long as it's on the board.
Yeah.
Yeah,
try to fight the Finks. They can at least blow. Yeah. They can at least blow up the Pern Deed. I mean, they may blow the Pern Deed up in response.
I found it extremely funny that every time that they see an old card in enemy colors, I'm like, oh, it's from Apocalypse. I just know that. It's
I think you just blast the whole board to bits right now. Just get it all. They'll get their Cradle back, but the Cradle does nothing on this board.
But they don't get Cradle back. They get Catacomb back because they need the color mana. So.
Sure. Yeah, I guess they wouldn't get their Cradle back. All right, so they're not on a Mox build. They're on a Strip Mine build.
No.
Seems sensible to blow their land up.
Well, couldn't they be on both?
Yeah, it could be like Mox.
They could be. But typically speaking, like, if you're on that spread, I guess you could do like Mox, Strip, Crop. But typically you like play Demonic Fusion in the Sala spread.
Okay.
Yeah, because you just your lands combo.
Let's figure it out. This is an Arcana that we can
as soon as I see Strip, I generally relegate it to being a DT deck. I think that's the smart way to build it, but people do it differently.
That's a smart way of building it. What is the loading way of building?
Well, I mean, like, yeah, someone could have a different finding than what I've got. I mean, what I think smart may not be smart to someone else. But
I was being facetious.
It may not be smart. Period. Who knows? I played Sui Black quite a bit.
Mox.
I heard you're mental doing so.
What's that now?
They're definitely on Mox Streep. I'm looking for what the last point is.
Oh no, for crop rotation.
They're on Mox Streep Twist.
Okay, all right.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking of.
Are they running Loam or Ramunap?
Hopefully.
I guess Ramunap is pretty free to run, right?
It is.
I don't know about Loam.
Side the fetish you play, generally speaking.
They're not on Ramon up.
Black souls and white souls is coming here. So we can't get an all black white souls unless we're gonna get like the Triome. I guess the Triome is an option.
I mean, I think the only option they really have here is to try to play out the other half of this lingering souls.
They're playing it fairly. They're not.
They
on
could also.
They're not on Loam or Ramon up or Crucible. They're just playing it fairly.
Okay.
I completely hated just killing the vampire.
Yeah, you just double removal it. I mean, they've got the what's that stupid card in play? The Yavamaya blah blah blah.
The Malaholo.
We're gonna see a right here. Are we gonna see that?
They're just gonna blow up all the 1/1s. Yeah, just kill them all.
All right, yeah, that's actually pretty good against the tokens too.
But they probably should have attacked. No, I guess they can't attack first because then they have to protect the. I guess they could. It's not an instance. There's no way they could have figured out a way to kill the.
We have seen a lot of things played in both lists. Go for the throat, fatal push.
You know, it's just all fair cards. This is a very fair matchup. This is a very fair game of Magic. Just all fair, but it's a lot of like so far. Like, and I don't know what Loading's like win con package looks like. They need to find a way to win. Like that's the big thing with their hand. Their hand is definitely like extending the game.
I couldn't talk of a win con package necessarily when it comes to loading
Planeswalkers.
Yeah, they have so they have 2 6-mana Planeswalker, 6-mana Garruk, and 6-mana Vraska. They have some random assorted other idiot, like they have Vivian, Monsters Advocate, Liliana Death's Majesty.
Going into this lineup play, I don't know that I like throwing this out there, like throwing the treetop out there to just die.
Yeah.
That said, you can just draw one of the better cards in your deck right now, which is this.
Yep.
It's going to just trade off cleanly with the... I think I would have just tried to double removal this thing.
Oh, what?
All right, yeah, they trade off with it. They made a mistake, too.
Oh, right, yeah, of course.
Wouldn't you want to minus first?
I already see that card being used, but like, what it is?
Thrun's pretty good in this matchup, to be honest. It's just
I actually hated just killing the like you said, can't really double removal it either. Yeah, because you can't Vindicate and go for the throat.
No, because you lost your treetop in combat unnecessarily.
Yeah, this is awkward. Just seeing constant removal spells here.
Like, well, that doesn't do anything. I mean, they run a lot of those cards too, right? So I mean, it's like if you run a bunch of removal, you're going to be good in fair matchups. But like when Tendrils of Agony or Timefall start coming out or Blue decks start coming out, you just run into issues.
Yeah, or in this case, I guess Thrun,
yeah.
Unfair card.
Do you have an edict? Do you have an edict, ma'am?
I guess it's called Liliana the Veil.
I doubt that. I don't think Bailite does not play Veil, does he?
Probably not.
No, it's not right. Might.
We haven't figured it out.
I'm sorry. It's Einstein running Veil. I'm sorry. There, Gosman.
That'd be interesting. Yeah, I like this decision. Just realizing that you have to kill the hollow to kill something usually. So just
yes, they are running Veil.
They're running Lily on the Veil, huh?
Yeah.
Okay.
That is in their deck.
It's definitely an answer right now.
All right.
So this roll.
Every time they always have the Utopia spell right after I vindicate a land.
I'm not sure why do you even take the damage here to play this role? Like, you're not keeping additional cards up. I guess you can. I don't know. Regenerate twice?
Yeah, that's probably it. I mean, like, not that there's many cards that would kill this. Like, they're not. I mean, Damnation would just kill it outright, but they're not running Damnation. Yeah, I can't think of anything that would actually like kill it that wouldn't kill it around regeneration to include like Toxic Deluge or something like that. That'd be in their deck. I don't know. I don't think the damage is going to matter that much because I mean they got a 2-turn clock and they have 2 kill spells.
Do you have something next turn? Like get a green white souls it presumably.
I mean, there was a sound argument to just leaving it in the hand to fade having to use the Gaze of Granite and kill it. So.
Well, that's not going to do it. That's going to be one-off. -3/-3 is not -4/-4. That's going to be the game for loading.
Unfortunately, not an instant speed card either. You can't shrink it down and then try to live.
The score was off actually. Also, Einstein was up a game, not loading. So now this is very 1-1.
1-1 game, yeah. I do think in general the Rock actually is advantage in this matchup, depending on lines of play.
It's usually the slower, greedier deck. I'll buy the Bailite and there's that Einstein's currently piloting. It's a very grindy, greedy.
Both of these decks are kind of a race to the grindiest. So, like,
so Sign in Blood. All I gotta say is Sign in Blood. I love it. Sign in Blood. Like,
that means
literally no F's given. Just none.
Sign in Blood means that you are already running Night's Whisper, and you're right. You know what? I need more.
I'm just that gangster. I don't care.
You're just that aggressive, so you think like, oh yes, dealing 2 damage is better than drawing 2 cards all the time.
That's true. You could kill someone with it, but I don't think this deck's really putting anyone. Like, what do you take with this? Do you just take? Oh, they got rid of the Damnation, which I don't agree with. I want to.
Damnation is the least relevant.
You think Damnation was the least relevant? I think I would have kept it over.
Yeah, I don't like Bailiff at all.
No, I don't like Bailiff in this matchup, but I mean, there's a chance they drop a Lily onto the Veil and you get to put a 4/4 in the play.
That's what I would take. You made a mistake. You should have taken the Raska. Definitely a mistake here.
Yeah, top deck for Raska.
Use that trick on top of the library and then just say, don't draw a card next time.
Shout out to her choice of Damnations.
We can't even cast this now. I can't cast the Gerard's Verdict. Oh, this is such a great. I'm sorry I'm laughing so hard. It's so funny to me.
Have you ever do a CD off some battle of just being like really irrelevant? But now
it just turns off the Gerard's Verdict. It's perfect. It's perfect.
I kind of like just playing Zion Blood. Sure, you're taking.
That's all you can do here. No, of course you cast it. Maybe they don't want it. No, you definitely cast it. I don't know what the heck they're doing. I don't know what's going on here. I have no clue anymore.
That feels like a general sentiment.
Feels like a punt. You definitely Sign in Blood. I mean, yeah, you're getting beat down, but it's not going to get better later, and you need to find the cards it's going to give you, because hopefully they deal with the board in a favorable way.
Yeah, we're going to see a grapple. Not really funny.
Getting land back. Mire Triton, that's fine. It's more clock.
Yeah, and the card roll with Vitaly.
So they got 5 on board, 7 on board. So, I mean, next turn if you're not Signing in Blood, the next turn that card is doing nothing in this game.
Well,
unless you gain a lot of life. That's a pretty good one to find, and you definitely put that one down. They're going to draw a lot of cards off of it, unfortunately for you, but you're going to get back your Scavenging Ooze, and you get back, and you'll go forward the cards.
And Bailiff are ways to just get back to life. Especially, like,
one of the things you can do too is make your land drop and then just wait till the begin combat step as well, just so you don't get like mised out by a questing beast. And you do have time to cast the Baloth. That card's also in a rough spot at this point.
No. Oh, we're going to see it for 4 just immediately.
Okay. I mean, you don't do it for 4 because, I mean, there's a chance. Yeah, I guess you can do it for 4. It doesn't matter.
Flash in the Restoration Angel.
Yeah, I suppose.
I mean,
that I'm with you.
Would still die with the Restoration Angel.
Attacking means that there's few cards.
They're able to put 6 power back on the board with the Nintuko Monastery and the Chemball, and they found a Tainted Pact.
Mana that could be lethal here. I don't see anything.
I mean, like, Loading's got to be hoping for another forest land. They'll likely cast out the Baloth to go up 4.
Yeah, from Einstein's position, you expect the Bailiff to come down here next turn, and then going to 8, maybe 9.
Yeah, I mean they're going to be too happy to discard Phyrexian Arena and probably Sign in Blood. Vraska, you may keep around just in case you have enough life to cast her through the Chemball, and ideally kill the Chemball. But I don't think Arena is going to be doing all that much.
The question is here: what do you take the pack for? What are you getting with your pact?
I would wait. Why would I need to choose that now? I don't think I would hand it. I would just cast the Chemball and wait and see what they do.
Yeah. Oh god, casting Gerard's Verdict right now would be so.
Well, they're not going to do that. They're not going to cast. It'd be hilarious if they cast it. Be like, oh god, I forgot Baloth comes into play from discards. All right, land, that's effectively 4, but that is the forest land I was talking about. This is going to allow them to get down the Bailite, and the next turn set up the Scavenging Ooze with 2 activations. You should fetch first, though. Don't take the damage.
No,
you don't have to.
State Araska.
Huh?
Depending on the ball state, you might even play the Raska instead.
You could.
That's a
That's a 6 drop, though. You have to draw land, so... Here, possibly just a kill spell. I mean...
Yeah.
Or a walker. Like, a Palace Jailer would be pretty good. I would probably go for a Jailer. I mean, you get punished in the Jailer, but it's not very likely against the Rock. The Rock probably doesn't have a lot of haste critters. Maybe a couple. Hell, I can see taking a Vengevine, because I know Bailite runs Vengevine. All right, Shriekmaw's fine.
True.
Just the same. This is just as good. Just kills the thing and leaves a threat on the board.
Questing Beast is likely the only one you're going to see.
And
we're just going to see the go for the not lethal here, put him at 2. I am.
It's not lethal, but yeah.
I'd rather just cast a Shriekmaw if you're going to just on this road.
Me too. I would cast Shriekmaw, kill the threat. I would Inquisition probably first, just to see what I'm working against. Get rid of the Scavenging Ooze and be like, hey, you're dead.
Gotta have something.
Is a Gosmid back?
Indeed it is.
Gosmid is back, yep.
Yeah. Be gone! We have Gosmid now!
I will now...
Oh, you're fine. You're fine here. You're fine if you want to hang out, buddy. Not be gone. I'm not saying be gone. Maybe Red Mages. I don't know.
It's
be
fine.
gone.
Whatever.
Leave. Yeah.
Zannty and I, if it wasn't clear, know each other in real life. So there is some amount of shit that we give each other on a daily basis. And Einstein's done. We have Evios and Blahguy still going, and we have Goodpoints and Reiyu still going.
Just pull one of them up. I'm down with whatever.
Sure.
Let's watch Reiyu. We haven't seen Reiyu play yet. And their deck sounds like it does some spectacular things, like play Gargaroth turn 1 into Swords and Plowshares.
Play some spectacular Gargaroths.
Play big green idiots out.
Those are Garrux, as far as I understand.
What's that now?
I think they play just about every Garruk on that list, except the real bad ones.
Yeah, no, I think from talking to them, they've affectionately called it Garruk Tribal. Not all the Garruks are bad. I don't think that's
there's a lot of very good Garruks and just
some pretty messed up Garruks.
Yeah, that's some pretty stupid Garruks.
Yeah, I'm just not sure I'd be on the 7 mana.
Hey, look, there's a Gargaroth in play. Maybe the Gargaroth's gonna get the job done. Like Gargaroth sucks. Like, open the game up, and Gargaroth's winning the match.
Yeah,
fucking Gargaroth, baby. All you need in life is a Mana Crypt, a Mox Diamond, and a Gargaroth, and like you're pretty much set.
And that's all I really need. Diamond, the Gargaroth, and the Dream. I think that's how that.
I like to hope the sequence of plays in this game was like turn 1, Hex Drinker, and like pump it up to a 4/4 on turn 1.
But yeah, like against Dredge. Gargaroth is just a value engine that's just gonna keep drawing cards. Like,
well, that's like Dredge can get outvalued by some decks that have fast mana, like Dredge can get outvalued by. That's why it's I think one of the interesting points in like understanding the Dredge deck is like when and how do you make the transition from playing it as a value-oriented mid-range strategy to a straight-up combo strategy where you're just like getting them with Underworld Breach, or the Lawless Giant, whatever.
Here for a second. So we just going to rest on Evious. Evious had 4 cards in hand at that point. They took a Raptors of War, which to me, on this full state, when you have 1 land and that's in Underscore Paradise, I feel like that tells us that there was no other non-land or.
Oh yeah, they're playing white-green mid-range, so I mean they drew the Soul Ring off the top, and they probably had all creatures.
But this does look like a bit of a stomping.
Yeah, no, Evios I think made this deck to kind of beat up on the red-based and like somewhat death and taxes based metagame.
Just beating hard on the aggressive decks, to be honest.
Yeah. So I mean, and it still has some of the taxi to style cards in it.
Like say. I mentioned combo because I'm not like the. I feel like the green
deck has some equity against combo. I mean, they've got stuff like Thalia,
DNT, straight up DNT.
Yeah, they're not as good as straight up D&T is. In my opinion, against combo. They have some of those cards. I mean, they've got like the Mind Sensor, they've got the Thalia, they've got the Ooze. So I mean, they've got a couple cards that are pretty problem. They have Dryad, Militant, Deathrite Shaman. Like these are all cards that are pretty problematic, and they've got the Geddons, which can be good if you get fast mana to kind of disrupt the combo.
You're running the D&T.
I'm sorry.
You already run a lot of those in D&T usually.
Sure, yeah.
The question is you do mention Skoos. And,
Ooze and DRS are pretty important from green. You also get Gaddock Teague.
Gaddock, yes.
Probably playing Collector Oof, maybe?
Maybe, yeah.
You could go to Oof, but I think they're on Stoneforge Mystic, and they're obviously on Soul Ring some number of Mox, and I believe they're on double Mox Soul Ring.
It's like that.
So I don't know if they're on Oof, but they might be. They're probably not on Oof if they're running Walking Ballista too, or maybe they are. A couple of other important cards you get from going to the Green Splash and like the Taxi route is, the card you see in their hand, which is Knight of Autumn, and then Kasali Pride Mage are both pretty important. They add some equity versus Tolarian Academy and also Time Vault. More so the Kasali over the Knight of Autumn.
This is one area I really do like the green edition.
Yeah, I mean, I think there's a good. Their list is a little more beatdowny. I mean, they do have like Thrun in the deck, and they have like Questing Beast and just some big chunky things that I think are more meta focused. On the aggressive decks, I would have a hard time believing that if you told me they were on Oof, but I guess I could see it. I think they are on Finale and Green Suns.
That's what it sounds. I think this is a meta where I wouldn't be against playing Oof, even a deck that can get hit quite hard by it. I think the sub decks that we've seen last week had 3 Paradox Academy decks out of 17 players.
Well, how many are there this week? I guess is the question. Right?
Yeah, you could run it. I mean, it'd be shutting down your Skull Clamp, your Double Mox, your Soul Ring.
100%.
It's a risk, obviously. It's not going to matter here. I mean, their OP is just really dead because this is a matchup they kind of want to see, I think.
This is one of the reasons why for someone like Evious you play that kind of deck. It's really just on Blahguy and so.
For the record, Blahguy is on a Mol 240, so there is.
I think it's a bad matchup regardless of how many they mull to. I mean, it's just, even if their deck functions in high capacity, it's going to be tough.
This is bad for Blahguy regardless, but the Mol 2-4 can't have help.
Nope. One of the things I would say about the green-white list, though, is that, in general, I don't know if it was, I played them a couple times in Storm, and they have tended not to beat me when I play Storm. When it wasn't they didn't have disruption, they had disruption, but in general, it just didn't stick. Or it was irrelevant. I'd get Thalia out, and then I would just set up over multiple turns, an Underworld Breach with a Lotus, and it didn't matter because it still netted mana. Because I could go infinite, well, not infinite, but I could, basically had 100 Lotus casts or whatever. The amount of mana I needed to kill was irrelevant. It was so high. So that's one of the things, and the mana can go wrong too, right? When you're playing 2 color as opposed to 1 color, the mana can go wrong some percent of the time higher than it would in a 1 color deck. So
yeah.
But yeah, I can see an argument for going blue-green or white-green for sure. Or even black-white is pretty good.
Yeah, depending on what you cut. A card like Brahms is probably the kind of cards you want to be cutting as soon as you start going into the...
you don't need Brahms at all. That's just a big chunky thing. They get bounced by Caracas.
Green card, you're playing your white deck, in your mono white deck, really. In a way, isn't it? It is kind of green, besides it, I don't know.
What Brahms is?
Yeah, it's
he'd be a 4/3 if he was green.
Yeah, I suppose. A bit more. And maybe you have Trample instead of Vigilance.
White small creatures are the best creatures, too. And I guess if you have some random, green cards that are 4/5s at 3 or 5/4s at 3, but
Primas doesn't count as a small creature. 3/4 is pretty beefy.
You may play Questing Beast as well if there's a Thrun.
No, they do. They do. They do play Questing Beast. I'm 90% sure.
Yeah. I'd be playing Questing Beast above the front.
Yeah, I think they're just playing Thrun because they wanted to have some equity versus the blue decks. One of the things when you go into these 2 colors that you can run into issues with is Grixis. We played him with Grixis a couple times, and I think it's been pretty split. Like, sometimes I just get, getting out, and sometimes you just, they can't get around, Grixis removal.
For that, I heard
in Ancestral Recall, really.
There was a consideration earlier of whether Collector Wolf was in Evios deck, and it absolutely is. So, that's kind of spice.
I'm not that surprised by it. I mean, I think it's you can get rid of it.
I think after seeing that many Academy decks, you're kind of it just kind of makes sense. It's awkward sometimes, the deck runs Chrome Mox, but you do what you have to.
Yeah. You can definitely lose to Academy with a Collector Roof in play too. If an Ursa gets down, just forget about it.
I mean,
forget about it.
You can. The thing is that while that is true, this deck is gonna pressure them, right? Like you don't need to just stop them in the tracks forever. You just need to buy enough time for your idiots to actually get in.
All right, so I think it's pretty safe for Blahguy just to pack it in here.
There it is.
Yeah.
And we're done. Okay.
All right, there's a concession. All right.
All right, while we wait for the last couple results to actually make it onto the EtherHub page, I just want to give a reminder to... we watched that match. We know for a fact that happened, okay? I just want to give a reminder to everybody that, if you want to sign up to the... for the event next week, exclamation point Discord will get you there. I'm gonna ready an exclamation point next event command in a couple of minutes so that you can, I'm gonna do that while the next round is going, so that you can join that event if you would like. And I'm gonna have it ready for you. But for now, just if you want to join the event, just be on the Discord, look for announcements. There's gonna be one going up later today, and that's gonna have all the information that you need to sign up. Also, as another reminder, we are brought to you every week by you. This tournament is free to enter. That's the other thing, right? Like, if you want to enter this tournament, well, you need to have deck or MTGO, which isn't free. But outside of that, this tournament is absolutely, completely positive, actually just free to enter, which means it helps a lot to have donations from subs and stuff to do things like offer prizes at the end of the season. That does help a lot. So if you wanted to throw a sub our way, we've had a couple of people already sub today, which I incredibly appreciate. Thank you. It would mean the world for us if you would consider that. That would be awesome. I think the next round is just about ready to start. I see all the results have made it in, so let's pair some humans and watch some magic.
Lovely stuff. So let's see who we have this round. As soon as it is ready.
We're watching an Elder Gargaroth get cast on turn 1 this round.
Yes.
How many?
It wasn't good enough, apparently.
So, guys, man, how often do decks that you play win against turn 1 Elder Gargaroth?
That really depends on what I'm on.
Turn 1, round 1. Turn 2, round 2.
I mean, if I just time ward them on turn 3.
That's fair. Elder Gargaroth.
Quite often, then.
I won't lie. I do have a soft spot for Elder Gargaroth. I like that card. I don't know why.
No, I'm with you there.
I just like it. It just does everything. Like, I want to draw cards. Cool.
Like the signs.
Want to gain some life? Yeah. Sure. Make some more 3/3s. Great. Love it.
Yeah. And honestly, it's something I've heard people complaining about, like green gets card draw now, right? Like, definitely green's got a lot of powerful cards.
Green's always had card draw.
yeah, like
technically green is supposed to be the second best color in card advantage. That is not. Yeah, it's not new.
Exactly. I just think actually maybe black. Let's be honest. Black, I think should, or at least it used to be.
Okay.
A lot better for card draw.
The way that it's supposed to be. Green is the second best color for card advantage. Card advantage and card draw are not the same thing.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Green has some pretty spectacular card draw too. I mean, like when you think about like 5-mana Garruk, it's like that card, or like not Soul of the Harvest. That's the black one that
Soul
does
of the Harvest, yeah, for example.
Soul of
like
the Harvest, or what's the 6-mana one that Glimpse is just Glimpse, Beck and Call, and then there's like what's the one that Elves used to run? It was like the 7-mana thing that draws you as many cards.
Oh, Regal.
Regal Force. Regal Force.
Yeah,
Regal Force. You know, like there's some cards that just draw some absurdly large.
Look, if you're playing an Elf Ball deck, I think Regal Force.
I mean, Green's card draw is tied to Risha, right? It's always been that way, but that doesn't mean that.
Or like Edric. Edric.
That's the big difference. Like, Green card draw is very concentrated usually. You rarely see they draw 1s and draw 2s.
Yeah,
you
draw this many.
I mean, you see cards. It's variable, right? Like that's the thing. You see cards that can draw 1 card or 2, but are played in decks where they're not going to. They're played in decks where they're going to draw like 5.
That's it. I'm gonna run Natural Selection in my next deck.
So, that's a combo for Evios. There we have the Collector Oof and the
and the Spopter.
The value.
I think Einstein will probably be advantage in this game, but we shall see.
Yeah, the hand from Evios is not looking all that great.
Well, at the end of the day, like Evios' deck, if like you're not,
Einstein is also on Collect Oof. The double Oof matchup here.
And
Let's go.
Isn't Einstein's build, which is Bailite's build on triple Mox?
Yep, sure is.
We just need it.
Just need it. What is with you people and just like playing Oof in your own artifact deck?
I don't know.
Next thing I know,
we have seen so much Akari. Like we have seen so much Akari, and I think it just makes sense.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, I just think if you opt to go that way, maybe you look to
not be another Mox build. Yeah, possibly. Like, I feel that for Evius, the Moxen, because he's a lot more aggressive, so the Moxen are a lot more important. I would definitely see Einstein/Bailite's deck being built a variety of ways that don't involve Moxen.
So what would you play here in turn 2 from Einstein's point of view?
Him to Turek.
Yeah, or the him.
Him. I'm looking to gain advantage. I want to start cutting their legs out from under them here.
Yeah. And if you're lucky, like, you remove whatever threat.
I mean, you could also just leave up Eliminate and kill the stupid copter if you really wanted to.
Yeah, I feel like when you have the...
I just want to... I have a Tainted Pack that allows me to get a board sweeper, so I wanted to start chopping their legs out from under them, let them play a bunch of shit out, and then, Tainted Pack next turn and just murder them.
Or just at some point get, like, a win con that just it's going to grind them out.
I think this is a fairly, like, just kind of... I don't know. I think this is fine, I guess. The green-white deck's not going to have that much removal. Like, and it doesn't.
It has a couple paths, maybe Dramoga's Command or something.
It's got Winds of Abandon, which is big removal. That's a really that card's grown on me a lot. That card's really powerful.
We saw that double Winds of Abandon game on week 1.
It's not path by any means.
Well,
but it's
my curiosity is they wanted to trade this thing. I guess they want to trade with it. Okay. Now I'm like all about him and the living shit.
They're clearly trading so they can play a collective and activate.
Well,
right.
at least, like I don't know. I kind of feel like I'd rather save that for post-wrath.
I know it's something on land.
Yeah. Okay.
I do agree with that choice at least.
Yeah. So I mean, I guess they're just. I guess I could blow up the collector.
Yeah, I'm not sure. We just don't see a.
I'm pretty happy if Council's Judgment eats my oof. I'm like, great, love it.
Like a basic forest.
No, yeah, they're just gonna probably play out this thing. I'm happy to trade the oof with this thing, by the way. like that means that with their own oof, they're like, yo, we both got oofs.
Yeah, I'm gonna be honest there. I don't love getting the basic forest right there.
I don't think you had to either, but hey.
You only have one white soul, so you can get one more, sure.
Please ham them finally. Thank you. Just ham them.
Just finish it.
Give them the grease. Yeah.
Yep. Now you had like Coulter to grind it out. Tainted Pack to get anything you need. Same with Green Zones more or less.
So your hand's just great.
Oh, hi, Coulter. I've seen you before.
Yeah. Well, can they mise the land off the top?
My old friend.
Can they mise the land?
Blade Splicer again.
Just a Blade Splicer.
Just a Blade Splicer. usually quite good at crewing a copter, but there's a bit of a
I could see trading here, maybe.
problem.
I could see trading here, probably.
I've heard of an infestation, but I've not heard of an infestation at this point.
If you hit land here, I think it opens up your play options. But if you don't hit land here,
yeah, particularly like a forest, pretty big deal.
I kind of like just going coarser and just sitting on it.
Hey.
I don't like tapping that way, but hey. Alrighty.
Yeah, particularly like if you drew like I don't know.
This shuts off a lot of their attacks. That's a pretty good land card to hit, but it's not going to really. It's just going to be a bunch of mana. Well, now it has a reason to exist. If they hit another white source off the top, they can Winds of Abandon their opponent into oblivion.
So, chat, does anyone know if Winds of Abandon is a song by any famous artist?
Not that I know of. That said, I mean, next turn, they can blow up the copter if they want with the Green Suns. Obviously, this Mox is a pretty bad draw because they have a Collector Oof in play.
Yep. Matter of fact, there's opening 2 of them.
Yeah. I think you just look to set up the Tainted Pact here, although you might be just dead to this attack. If the wins happen, so they're just dead to this attack. No, they're not. But you probably,
for, like,
I think you just look for it now and see if you can hit a land.
Argument for like upkeep, cast Tainted Pact, get rid of the Mox, just find a land.
Yeah, or what they could do is Tainted Pact now, find Toxic Deluge, and then see if there's a land underneath the Toxic Deluge in the deck.
Valid.
I don't know why I like using Tainted Pact for a land here. I'd rather
you know
find
the wind's coming up
wins.
anyways next turn. So like if you just,
I don't think if the board's clear, I'm that upset about wins because I just get a bazillion lands off of it.
Yeah, exactly. And then you can just again get the Toxic Deluge. They're gonna have a 1/1 and a bit of Copter. Quite annoying.
We have.
They're gonna go for
why are we gonna
something.
We have an important question for chat. I'm sorry for interrupting, which is if you would party with anyone that is on a card, who would you pick?
Well, I'm not on the card, so
well,
probably Karavac. That guy knows how to party. That dude right there is from partier.
I'm not a party person, so I'm probably gonna find someone who's incredibly horrible at it, just to get around that shit.
I'm pretty sure if you party with Karavac,
maybe like
everything's
Jace
blown up,
something?
including you.
Because we can just have some intellectual discussions instead.
I mean, you've seen Party Jace, you know? super sexy Jace, you know? you might end up dressed like a Jack Sparrow or something.
Oh right, yeah, it's the pirate one, yeah. Everyone's Jace now.
That was a pretty aggressive wins. I guess they just didn't want to give them more card draw.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
I think I would have been inclined to sit on it, but
I feel like if you use it, you might as well go all in, like at that point.
Well, there's a land.
Yeah, so I
always felt like Bailite's list should run like a Primeval Titan in it.
Yeah, no, I get that.
I do think here you want to just wasteland the Gaia's Cradle before they're able to use the Eldamri's Call.
So
personally,
land here it seems.
Yeah, because you know what's pretty good with Eldamri's Call is Walking Ballista with infinite mana.
Ballista.
Yeah, looks like they agreed. And although at this point you do kind of give them access to
another big land possibly.
They could also find Aven Mind Sensor to try to mise you on this. I mean, they're not going to find that. They might. Actually, it's possible they find that.
I mean, if they're going to do that, I'm kind of happy with that, honestly. Like, yeah, it's a 2-1 flyer, admittedly.
You get Block of Flyer at this point.
It's not another world.
They're at 11, you know.
Let's make...
why even allow them to do it?
Awkward. But,
why let them do it?
Tainted Pact is still... Tainted Pact, a tutor that doesn't actually search.
Yeah, no, it's not going to stop that.
I do think that, if I remember correctly, it might have changed, but as I did used to have 2 basic forests.
Yeah, but that's a snow and a regular forest. I believe Bailite changed that at some point. I think at one point they did have 2 legit regular forests in their deck and a snow forest, which was a little weird.
Had straight on top. Oh, that does leave the choice of
I don't think it's gonna really matter that much due to the fact there's a Tainted Pact that can probably allow something to get through.
Also, Titania just apparently making a lot of creatures that are hard to block.
Making just massive things.
Admittedly, the Blaze Blast are doing a decently job at keeping some of those back for now.
Yeah. Yeah.
And the voice also blocks quite well. A voice token. Grimflayer. Fine card. Not exciting. It isn't currently a 4/4.
I just want to kill the board. They're looking at what they can get to kill the board here.
Yeah. Possibly.
I would have played this a little less. I would have played this a little more passively and tried to T-Del them just to knock everything out all at once.
The thing is, there's no real way to just sweep the opponent's board only, really.
No, I don't think they're playing Winds of Abandon in that deck, so that would be a card that could do it. Not with the mana situation they've got now, but
no. But next turn.
You know what they could also just find is I don't know if it would work here. Would it work here? Yeah, Questing Beast just attacks through all this stuff. I mean, it can get blocked by what the Golem, which does nothing.
Golem and I don't know, Goat and the Voice.
I don't think that would be the correct line of play because I think you
could chum with the Voice and maybe the Oof.
Did they put in a Miser's Scape Shift? They can just Scape Shift and make 1,000,000 power. Put in a Miser's Scape Shift.
I don't even know what that card does.
You don't even know what Scape Shift does?
Oh, Scape Shift.
Yeah, no, put in a Miser's Scape Shift, and then you shift all your lands when you have the Titania in play. Make infinite 5/3s.
I just heard Mises first, and I was like, never heard of that card.
No, no, just like a very bad card, accepting very specific situations.
Yeah, Mice is kind of slang, right? Like Mice is something that I've not heard outside of Magic.
No, it's not. It's not a real word.
Yeah, it's short for might as well.
Yeah, might as well draw the best card in my deck. Might as well draw the Mox Pearl, best draw ever.
Yeah, Mox Pearl, amazing card. It's 3 points. It has to be good.
Look, you have to get a removal spell now, right?
I mean, you could just get
tilt both moves, then your Mox is alive.
You kill the Golem. I wouldn't mind getting like a Knight of Autumn and just blowing up the Golem and attacking with all these idiots.
Yep, that's kind of nice. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it kind of makes the Palace Jailer a little more awkward.
You still have the Tainted Pact as a
as a backup.
Out here.
Yeah.
Look, I'll take the Courser for my Titania and still the Beecher for a ton.
Yeah, my guess is they probably. Oh, we'll see what they do. It's probably favorable for them to chump with the Collector Oof.
Yeah, trade the Oof and the Voice perhaps for the Titania. I
Sure.
feel like if you're blocking Titania, you're killing her. Yeah, all with Display Splicer. Their stats.
Yeah, that lines up. So they want to.
I like that. Just trading the Oof for the Scoos.
Yeah.
Getting a 3/3 currently.
Now it's possible that they actually use the Palace Jailer to lock down the opposing Oof, so they can activate the Copter. I mean, that could be a thing that happens. Although it may actually not be favorable due to the fact that it would also unlock the Mox. It would unlock the Moxen as well.
Indeed.
Which would be kind of funny. Which would unlock Tainted Pact.
They choose to draw and apparently play the Palace Jailer. Not gonna play the Caracas first. I'm not sure why you wouldn't. Really gonna make a difference.
Can't think of a reason why not.
So you currently actually don't have enough blockers.
Well, they got access to a Selfless Spirit, so I mean, you could turn one of these things sideways and get it right now. They probably want to just Eldamri's Call, be my guess. So they're going to draw the Spirit, and they have a Stirring Wild, which was a follow-on blocker. My guess would be here, Death.
Once again, the question of what do you get with the Tainted Pact, if anything.
Honestly, removal spells just fine here.
I like it. Sometimes we just see the player starting to consult their deck.
Sometimes you just want your Go for the Throat or your Path to Exile or whatever. They're looking. I mean, I think you just go for it, and the first good thing that kills the thing on the board, you just take.
This is a Bailite list. There's got to be like some 2-for-1 removal spell in somewhere.
I don't think they used to run Malicious Affliction at one point, I think, but I don't think they do anymore.
No, actually not. Even Bailite isn't that greedy, right?
Malicious Affliction is a pretty good card. I mean, I play it mono black. Like, it's fine. I mean, that's a different deck, obviously, but it is a good card. It's just, it's hard to set up. Like, you have to be losing
double
things.
black as well doesn't help
like,
with that.
They're not really a deck that really wants to be losing shit, you know? You also play on, like, a Kratz theme deck, but it's more rare. It's also very specific in what it does.
100%.
Which is be a literal tear times 2.
But it doesn't actually hit aspects.
You most certainly attack here with everything, because you do need to damage them.
Yeah, you want to be getting that from.
No! This is such a misplay. God damn it! All right, I guess they're gonna find removal. I guess I feel like you need to attack with all here, just because if they have a removal spell, like one of the cards in their hand. I do not believe they know the Eldambri's Call in their hand. And you can definitely put yourself in a position where, like, you just leave this monarchy running on their side for another turn.
And like you're seeing both of them off the Colza.
I'm not positive they saw the Eldambri's Call. It's been in there for a while, but you could be right.
No, the call was definitely seen off the Colza.
Okay, all right.
I saw it of it. So
fair enough. Yeah, I don't know if they did. They did.
That said, I might have missed it. It's a real chance and forgotten to check.
I still think you attack with all here, but that's just me. I mean,
yeah,
they have to block. Well, they have to block at a minimum one of the 5/3s. They're going to block one of them. The Oof will come off the board, which is randomly kind of nice because now you can blink your stupid, knight and blow up the.
Yep.
Although we could have tapped that a lot better and done all of it, I think. Could we have? Yeah, we could have done all of it. Could have also played the Grim Flayer out. Maybe they didn't want to.
Didn't want to fall for Trembler. Huh, curious.
Yeah, I guess not.
Probably because Einstein is simply psychic and they know that the card they're going to draw off the... Told ya! Psychic!
Yeah, very castable. I mean, they're going to have to do it in response to the Selfless Spirit, but it looks like they don't care. They're just blowing it up now. Whatever. I guess right now, the way they could steal the Monarchy back is by finding a Questing Beast.
Spirit, because that card's a flash, and it's the end of Einstein's turn currently.
Yeah. I don't think I would have blown that up right away. I think I would have waited, but Questing Beast is another one they could get here, which they would be able to attack through this board.
I'd be getting Questing Beast here, Albite.
Well, here's the thing, right? Like, you still have Selfless Spirit, so you can attack with the fucker. It has Vigilance, so it actually blocks pretty well. It gets back the Monarchy and gives you an additional draw, which could give you access to a 1-mana removal spell, which would be fairly relevant if you went land removal spell, something like that, It could leave you alive, I guess is my point, and put your opponent to 6. So, I guess
becomes a lot better option than that, personally. But
I don't know about their deck. I don't know if they do have a better option than their deck, unless they're playing like Primeval Titan or something. I don't know what it would be. Like Primeval Titan finding like Glacial Chasm. I don't know.
The classic green-white.
the classic Glacial Chasm, like oh shit button.
maybe getting a bit of cat action here might do something.
At one point, they were playing Mazavith in their deck. Being fair, so like they had some tech in there. I was like, I am dying to Mazavith. I'm not able to win this game because of Mazavith. This is crazy. But I know at one point, Evios. I'm sorry, Evios was playing that card. I was like, oh, okay. I guess you got a maze. The real answer is I don't know what you get here.
Yeah.
I don't know what you get here.
What is the name of the
like the right answer is like if you did have like prime time is like get Glacial Chasm plus like a Thespian Stage and then
if you want to be greedy you can hope to draw land next turn, get Lurrus, play Lurrus, and then either Palace Jailer.
Lurrus can't get back Palace Jailer, right?
Oh right, yeah, no, you're right.
2 drops or less.
You get back like Voice of Resurgence.
I really do think that it's actually the right answer here is to is to get the Questing Beast because it blocks and attacks. It takes back the Monarchy and gives you it draws 2.
Like my line is fine, but it requires you to draw land.
Yeah.
I think in the case of my line, no, you still don't get back the Monarchy, but
Yeah.
I'm gonna keep.
Nah, you Questing Beast them. You just give them the Beast. All right, they get this one. Okay, well, let's get some more cards. It gets them a
Ballista.
That do much here though.
But this is a way to block 2 creatures just for 2 mana.
Sure.
You don't really have to have that. Oh wait, you do have that on top land. I figured that was enough. So I think you get Ballista, play it for 1, block one of the 5/3s, kill the knight. Most likely.
Yeah, or let me get this one.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, you have to take 1 to play the spirit. That's kind of awkward. Does at least allow you to. Wait, aren't you just dead on board?
No, they're not dead on board.
Chump with self as an elemental.
You go to 2.
Yeah, you go down to 2. Yeah. Let's see if you got the Questing Beast. You'd be having 1 less blocker.
They should attack with every single thing here. This is an attack.
You wouldn't have gone down to. You'd be down to 1 instead, but have the.
Why are they attacking with one thing?
Is this
I
the same
have
one?
absolutely no clue.
I mean, it's
You just allow them to like
draw
set
out.
up if you can.
They're letting them draw.
Like at least attack with your Charming Prison Elemental token.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Like fair enough, you don't want to attack with your knight who's just going to die to mana runes. Understandable. God, please.
Is this the game 1?
Yeah, I believe so.
Might be.
Just checking.
Is there a Plague Engineer in the bin?
Doubt it.
Maybe in their opening hand.
Well,
All right, Einstein.
Einstein I can check.
Yeah, the Sevzrak would have probably locked it up regardless. I mean, you get the. It's going to make it very hard to raise the Scavenge use on the opposing side and whatever else they get back. Probably a draw land.
I really like this hand from EV as well.
Yeah, I'd keep this one.
Stoneforge, if you want to go that far.
Yeah, I'd pitch a Stoneforge out turn 1. Got a Wasteland 2. I mean, as we know, it's probably just going to get Abrupt Decay or whatever they get with it's going to be Abrupt Decay. But hey, I think I would keep it though. Like it's greedy, but I'd keep it.
Bit land heavy, but that Wasteland in this hand definitely doesn't count as a land.
No, it's another spell.
Yep.
I mean, technically this is. Well, you're throwing the bird right under that thing.
Stick around.
Yeah, you're throwing the bird right under that Chrome box. I'm getting the. Oh, they're playing the bird out. Okay, I would have gone for the turn 1.
Yeah, I don't like
SFM.
Like, dead Chrome marks in hand, unless you're gonna exile Stoneforge Mystic.
Yeah. We'll see what happens.
I think I would have been to throw the bird under the boss, play the Stoneforge turn 1, and then turn 2 you can.
I want Stoneforge. Play the Wasteland, pass the turn, just hold up the Stoneforge activation.
I don't know if I would have shown the Wasteland turn 1. This Sevzrak is going to be utterly savage.
No, it turned 2 Wastelands.
That's a lot of Wastelands.
It's at least 2. It's at least 2 Wastelands.
Wasted.
That said, I mean, there's a DRS.
Love to see the Wasteland there.
This is probably going to get Abrupt Decayed into Oblivion. I mean Skull Clamp. That said, the Sevzrak's going to be able to get it back at some point.
Oh, we're not even going to see it.
No, you wait. You wait for them to equip it. I get greedy on it too. I'd be like, go ahead and equip that Skull Clamp, then I'll blow it up.
True.
Very little can go wrong, right? It's not like they can re-equip in
I mean, it ties up their mana. It also ties up their mana, so they're doing ostensibly less with their mana on their turn, which is, in my opinion, pretty solid play.
Absolutely.
Although Sevzrak is of note, not that great versus DRS. DRS it can get one thing back, which my guess would be in this case is going to be the clamp. And then you're probably obliged to eat it next turn, but you can not quite do it and also cast this Midnight Reaper because of how they fetched.
Yeah, and if you do that, then suddenly that Bird of Paradise suddenly becomes a 0 mana divination.
I think you want to get rid of the Sevzrak here, though. I don't think you want to give them access to it on the next turn to get 2 free land drops.
At the very least, let the mana stay up, so you can, in the case that they do.
Red Mage, you got something else up down on their Einstein's hand zone. I can't tell what they drew the turn.
That
It's kind of
is
relevant right
correct.
now. Okay.
I am fixing
They drew
it.
and he's expertise. Okay. I actually don't mind expertising here.
Yeah, and then you get to slam this Midnight Reaper.
Yeah, I actually kind of like it. I'm kind of down with it. That said, you are going to leave them with a Sevrek.
Yeah, that
Which
part's
then,
not
yeah,
great.
2 turns away. Or 1 if you draw another mediocre non-land.
Yeah.
Would you sacrifice the Mother Runes just to slap down that Reclamation here? Seems not.
I actually would not this turn, but next turn I would. I would like to get the Stone... Actually, I would like to get the Stoneforge plus the Wasteland back. I'd like to Wasteland and Stoneforge them.
More than Birds of Paradise when the Skull Clamp is there?
Yes. I'd rather Wasteland them and get the Stoneforge back. Find Sword of Fire and Ice with it, and have them on, 2 less
Do we
lands.
know exactly what equipments Evios is on?
I don't exactly, but I'm almost positive they are on Sword of Fire and Ice and Skull Clamp.
Not attacking.
I have that answer if you give me 1 secondo.
Sure.
In the meantime.
Eternal Witness is nice because it does give them access to the Abrupt Decay, which can blow up the Clamp.
Absolutely.
Which is kind of their game plan, although you kind of want to wait on that until after they Sevrek here.
So they are on 3 different equipments. Sword of Sophie, Sword of Fire and Ice, as you guessed, is correct, and so is Skull Clamp, as you guessed. The third one is Shadow Spear.
Oh, okay. That's one they probably shouldn't be playing, but that's cool.
It's interesting because it's a nice way to hedge against mono red, right? You slam your Shadow Spear on one of the relevant.
I don't think this deck really needs it, to be honest.
No, I agree with you.
I think this deck should already be pretty good against red.
Absolutely,
Soul of Light Shadow. Definitely a bit slower, not as punishing at times.
Like playing a bunch of Watch Wolves is already just naturally good against mono red, pretty much.
Yeah.
I'm curious to see what we get here with the.
I don't know if they can. I mean, they might do it just for mana efficiency's sake, but they know they have an Abrupt Decay, and this Skull Clamp, based on their holdings, has to be pretty important in what they're doing. Would be my guess. I think Skull Clamp is probably the most important card they have access to, but they could go for a Stoneforge to try to get the Sword of Fire and Ice, but Sword of Fire and Ice is not really busting through this board.
By no means.
So it's like, I mean, I guess getting the Wasteland too. You can just get Wasteland, take them off white. I mean, you don't know their hand, but I mean, they haven't been doing all that much. They didn't get back a land drop with the E-Will.
They haven't missed a land drop at any point.
No, they have not. But it's also a hard choice, right? Because, if you're not doing anything with your turn, if you're just sitting here and just waiting, it's like that's not really what the green-white deck's trying to do. So it's like it is kind of tough. Maybe you just try to lock something up here and get a Wasteland plus get your sword. They get birds. Okay.
I presume the Stoneforge. Feels like
me as well. I don't think Wasteland would be correct.
Stoneforge?
Evidently not. They wanted to just draw off this. Okay.
Wow.
It seems greedy to me, but okay.
Yeah.
Maybe they want to get value immediately off of. I mean, if you wanted to get the value immediately, wouldn't? I guess. I don't know. I don't know about that line of play. I mean, they got their cards, but now you just go ahead and Abrupt Decay this thing. And...
At least makes you trade up usually.
Yeah. Yeah, I didn't like this line of play that much at all.
Strigmore, play it, kill the.
I don't like this either. I think I would just sit on this thing and then just wait to get the river.
Reaper specifically.
I think you can get more value off it. I think you kill their thing and just leave it on the board. It's a clock. I guess you also get to attack this turn though if they give it pro black. All right, so you don't attack with your black creature, you attack with your green one.
Absolutely.
You can get in there, buddy. Einstein's got to be feeling pretty good at this point, my guess would be. Goyf's not a bad draw.
5-6 currently.
Yeah. It's just a big thing, though. And right now, I mean, it's looking like they've got a significant number of blocks before it's going to become relevant. And it's going to be a draw per block. So my guess would be against the Abzan deck, it's not really going to change the nature of this game all that much, but that could be incorrect.
No, I'm with you.
All right. Yep. Tap land makes sense.
Anyway, just gonna be looking for creatures, presumably.
Yeah, that'd be my guess. Probably just go Winding Way and then cycle this Triome at some point.
Depending on what you hit.
What's that now?
Depending on what you hit, of course.
Sure. Yeah.
Zannty and Nissa. I just kind of like playing Nissa here. Just
Yeah, I don't mind playing this at all. It's another thing you can just throw in front of the Tarmogoyf and just draw cards off of, right? It's like, that's one of the reasons Bailite plays cards like Midnight Reaper. They are pretty good in these like mid-range mirrors. I wouldn't generally call it that good versus like red deck wins, but
does say lose 1 life on it, so that's
life.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, it's like it turns your removal into miniature, searing blazes.
Oh, congratulations! You drew a card. That's great.
Nice. Good job.
Did you draw your whole deck? Does your whole deck do anything right now? Yes. God damn it. No. Okay. Good.
Curses.
I mean, if Red could play a card that said 4 mana, your opponent.
That is a good hit. That's a really fucking good hit.
Yep, it's not a bad one.
Get back in Skull Clamp, have the Stoneforge available next time around, or give over Blooms. That's what you feel like.
Yep. No, you get Skull Clamp. Skull Clamp's not unreasonable. I would assume it's probably Clamp over Giver. Because what I think you probably lose to the most often, at least where this game's at, is some sort of sweeper effect. Yep.
Yeah. And I feel like the time it takes up to put up the Giver makes it that bit awkward.
This Zannty's definitely going to be looking for like hard removal out of Evios's deck, try to deal with this Lurrus. I think I'd want to get Lurrus off the board before Clamp here.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, because Clamp's just going to come back if you don't get rid of the Lurrus.
Yeah.
And then there's going to be Stoneforge, Birds, I was going to say lands. That's not incorrect. That's incorrect. But yeah, give over runes as well. Like those are all.
No, you unfortunately can't get lands to Lurrus. It's not all permanents. It's not land permanents. Oh, okay, yeah. Well, just confirming for the audience.
Yeah, like that Lurrus currently represents a 2 mana donation each turn.
Yep, it's pretty good. A lot of lands, a little bit of a flood here.
Yep.
Let's see if they can hit. Can they hit a Winds of Abandon?
Revoker? Revoker's pretty good against Skull Clamp.
Yeah, Revoker can shut down Skull Clamp or Stoneforge.
I think that's pretty what we're seeing here, unless there's something really interesting.
Yeah. Let's see. Death Touch is also not like entirely irrelevant.
Which one?
Death Touch on Zannty's not entirely irrelevant.
No, absolutely not. Against a Tarmogoyf?
Yeah.
Just gonna exile a card from the
yeah, start doing some damage. Makes sense.
Especially with like a pretty decent sized Tarmogoyf in play. Mm-hmm. You just want to be pressuring.
Well, and it's also they're not really they're basically only doing 1 damage each turn with Tarmogoyf due to the Midnight Reaper.
What?
That right there was another hell of a draw. That's a removal spell for Midnight Reaper to turn off the card engine. Would be my guess. All right, so they get this one.
One thing that's kind of funny here from Evius, and it's a bit of a weird thing, is the choice of Scrubland. Usually when you see a splash for Deathrite, it's usually Bayou and not Scrubland.
Well,
list.
I think they're predominantly. I think they probably play Bayou as well, which I know they do. And they're on a couple black cards, literal black cards. I think they run the flashback on Lingering Souls in the deck. Yep. There's the Spear, which I believe also gives. Does that have Trample as well? I believe it gives Trample.
Lifelink and Trample.
Yeah.
Good luck.
So that means block with Zannty's not really going to do any better here.
And you have the.
My guess would be you just toss Zannty and the Midnight Reaper both in front of it. I think I would put both in front just because I don't really want to be losing life off of my creatures dying anymore. I want to safeguard some life. And you also need to make a good draw in the next turn cycle.
Yeah, and this you really want to be flipping, so that one's not really an option either.
Yeah. Yeah, no, exactly. I'd rather flip the Nissa.
Rakdos not that great against Lurrus when your opponent has a ton of mana.
What is that?
Rakdos ain't the best against Lurrus, apparently.
No, it's not.
So
Doesn't
what's
really do
that?
much against Lurrus. You get to,
Council
I guess,
Judgment?
bounce it during upkeep or whatever. No, you don't have enough white mana to cast the spell because I can just replay it. I play the Lurrus. At a minimum, it does de-equip the Skull Clamp.
What do you think about the choice on the Revoker of choosing the Death Ride?
I actually think it's quite reasonable. In this board position, I think it's quite reasonable. And the reason I say that is because like your life total is significantly under threat here.
Oh, absolutely. But it does feel to me like it's easier to get rid of like the Death Ride than it is getting rid of the Skull Clamp.
Sure. But they may have been worried at that point in time that their draw engine was life dependent, and they didn't have. They drew garbage, right? I mean, they drew utter garbage. They drew like 5 or 6 lands in a row, which is not maybe that many in a row, but like five lands, maybe like 1 spell. Was kind of like the distribution of their draw there, and they know their hand. Their hand's garbage. Like they can put out on a blocker. This Dromoka's command can knock out Lurrus. I mean, it could knock out Lurrus here. I actually wouldn't mind just trading Lurrus for the Midnight Reaper to stop killing myself with it, and then putting down the Goyf.
Thing is, trying to
What's
think.
the thing?
It can't really be worth it too. Yeah, no, it's not really worth Karagas and Lurrus. Yeah.
No, it just doesn't matter. It doesn't matter at all. I just play it and cast another thing off of it.
Doing
nothing this turn does not make any sense to me.
You need to more mana than they want to, preferably compared to.
I don't understand what they're doing here. Yeah, I think you just play Goyf and then leave up Dromoka's command and probably kill the stupid Lurrus.
No, I'm with you. Or even just
almost a forced line. They don't really want to give them more cards, but it's like, what are you going to do? Like, you got to do it. Like, you're going to die to the spear on any of these things plus clamp. So.
If I slam the Lurrus, I'd probably just be getting Goyf back here. Just
get a huge thing. Just get a huge dumbass.
And I'm also looking at the Burst of Paradise.
Bird's fine with like the spear, but there's a flyer.
Yeah, but I figured alongside the spear and then this in hand with her -2, that's a way to make it a 2/3 in the air with no flyers from the opponent. Definitely a way to get around.
I don't think flying's that relevant. I think Tarmogoyf being huge and having a Shadow Spear.
I agree. I think it's a fine secondary consideration.
Yeah, sure.
Or I guess Give of Runes is a way, but its protection doesn't do that much right now.
No, there's a black, a green, and artifact creature on the board. I mean, so
exactly.
And you have a trampling spear, so it's like you're gonna get over these little weenie creatures that are. One of them is kind of almost not even in a position to block because it does 1 damage to them when it dies. So,
I think then Nissa could have waited a turn, honestly.
Yeah, probably. But I don't think it's going to matter all that much. I mean, it would take a hell of a draw. Is Yeheni's expertise still
Are we at the point where we might just Chrome Mox and just get that Civil Lapper out of the way, presumably? Do we care for it that much?
I mean, I would have played this hand out differently from this turn. I wouldn't have played Nissa this turn. I probably would have played, the Chrome Box, putting the library underneath it, playing out the Lurrus, playing out the Tarmogoyf, and then going for an attack, looking for trades.
Yeah. I do like a lot of what you said.
There was enough mana.
An option. I think we've still done it. Also, there's Equip actually. You would have still played it. You still had 5 mana with the Chrome Box.
I guess the one concern is like that your OP does have a lot of cards.
Chrome Box. Like, yeah, Silver Library is going to draw you like a couple of cards, but it's just you kill them. Kill them.
Yeah, there's a lot of cards in. I mean, they could be worried about 2 removal spells. Although at this point, like their OP's not using removal spells, and they're like correct.
Yeah, and they haven't killed your Skull Clam. You still have Lurrus to bring back the Skull Clam.
I think it's fairly apparent they're either on like the deepest, most greedy like Wrath of God angle that I've ever seen, or like they just don't have it.
Why hello there?
So there goes the Equip. I want a 4/3. I guess they're considering fighting this. if you're gonna fight it, you fight it after it's been equipped. Because you want it to be in combat. You don't want the Shadow Spear to get re-equipped mid-combat. That's a big no-go. I guess maybe that's what we'll see, though. We'll see like a block. Because you can put the stupid Nissa in front of, or I guess put the Nissa in front of the Stoneforge Mystic, and put the Rider in front of the Dryad Militant, and then cast Ramoka's command to fight the Dryad, or I'm sorry, the Rider versus the Dryad to get rid of the trample damage, and then put a +1/+1 counter on the Nissa to kill the Stoneforge in combat.
Yep, that seems like what we're going to be seeing here.
Yep.
I like that.
Yeah, it's the best you can do. I would have liked getting Goyf down last turn and then killing off the Lurrus with it better, but I guess,
Tanya's pretty big here.
But yeah, she's also pretty good with Caracas if you can do some Caracas tricks. But you're in a very low life.
Caracas, yes. I don't remember. Do we have a strip on the? I don't think Iron Sun has any strips.
No.
We had triple mock.
Yeah, it's triple mock spread.
And we didn't see. Yeah, it was. He also had the Wasteland, so that's not what we're looking at either.
So we're definitely going to see a Nissa flip here. Probably making a Shia, would be my guess.
Yeah, I just think you will be getting as much of a board presence as possible.
So you play out the Titania. You play out the Prismatic Vista, making a 5/3. Flipping the Nissa. Making an Ashaya. So you have what? Essentially, you have 15, 19. You have 21 power on board after this turn with a Titania.
Presuming you crack the land, of course.
Yeah, they're going at the Nissa with this.
Likely you do.
Yeah, I would assume you crack the land at some point in time.
Yeah,
and the one cool thing is you have a Caracas to protect your Titania if they try to go for blowing it up with that.
I think you play the Urbok here.
Huh?
Not I think it's going to be relevant, but I think Urbok, the choice of land from hand, might actually.
Why do you think you play Urbok here? I think I would just save it with Prismatic.
Maybe go for the Prismatic again, just go full on beats.
Yeah, try to win. I mean, like this. Yeah, they have a clamp. They have a clamp. They got 4 cards. They have Lurrus in hand. You know it. Like they can still get 1 free card off of it, which would include a Sword of Fire and Ice. They got trample damage on a stick. Like you just got to look.
The one thing I was scared of is like looking at that Deathrite Shaman.
Yeah, but the Deathrite Shaman is locked down by the Phyrexian Revoker, right?
I was thinking like let's. Einstein doesn't know this and hasn't seen any incentive to why, but a Council Judgment on the Revoker and activation of the Deathrite Shaman. It's kind of scary.
So you play around removal, is what you're saying? You play around removal on the Revoker specifically?
That's kind of the one reason why I'm like going down to 2 is relevant, even if they can't activate their Deathrite Shaman. Just the fact of it.
I feel like generally speaking, like if they were going to, I feel like generally speaking, if they had removal, it should have been cast sooner than this.
I agree.
So I would go for the play that wins more times than it plays around like a removal spell versus green white, which I don't think is the most likely.
I'm really with you there.
Yeah.
Again, this is not a case of like I feel like that Chromux should have been in play for a while ago.
I mean, now you might as well play the Sylvan Library, right? I mean, unless you really want to equip this spear up and trade it off with a 5/3.
We haven't used Lurrus yet, so if we play the
they have used Lurrus, right? They played Tarmogoyf out. They played Tarmogoyf for their bin.
For some great, yeah, correct.
So Lurrus going home. Well, you take your draw first off of Nissa, see what you can find.
That's actually pretty good.
That's very good. That's going to get Palace Jailer, which should lock up this DRS or the Goyf.
And I think with your own 5/3s and
you Goyf.
I think the Goyf is
it's pretty solid. Let's see if they stick with the plan of playing around removal on Phyrexian Revoker.
Oh, I love the Democrat actually. That's actually pretty easy.
Yeah, it's not bad. What is the Goyf right now? Is it a 5/6?
Oh yeah, they're both 5/6s.
Okay.
So what? We can exile something with Council's Judgment. We can.
Well, Council's Judgment is only OP controls. It's only OP controls. So. Yeah.
Well,
so
we
it's
can
not going to
exile and imagine so they don't have the Council's Judgment.
Yeah, and you can also take 8 damage off of Sylvan Library. They're going to concede because, like, actually, the issue that they're going to run into is there's a Rakdos in play too, so they can start bouncing the Emrakul and recasting it.
Yeah,
dear God. And doing 8 damage to them every time with the Sylvan Library. Just like take 8, take 8, take 8. It's kind of fun. It's like build your own toxic deluge kill.
It's kind of fun, he'd say.
Yeah, I think it's kind of fun. It's kind of cool. It's a cool way to kill someone.
You know what the most surprising thing here is? This was in the end. Zannty and Necro are still playing as far as I can say.
Oh, I believe that. Have you seen Necro's deck?
No, I haven't, but...
Let's check it out.
Oh,
it's a lot of blue cards.
Is this the Serapma special? I think I've seen this deck before.
This is a Penny Dreadful Legal mono blue deck.
No, it is.
You know, no, it has Labyrinth of Scophos in it. I saw it. It had Trade Routes and Labyrinth of Scophos. Like,
they
used against me last night. It is actually Penny Dreadful.
Yeah, I promise. Yeah, so I saw Maze of Scophos at the end of one of the games. I'm like, no one plays that unless they're playing Penny.
I mean, to be fair,
it's good card, Penny.
You have a lot of room for garbage, colorless lands if you.
Yeah, you're right. Definitely not.
Well, they got the Arch, or the what is it? The Spires of Araska. They have 2 Mazes of Ith in play.
Wait,
they're bouncing shit. Yeah, I love it. They're just trying to flip this thing. They may time out. How many? It's like they're that much.
Oh,
all right.
Yeah.
By the way, this is game 2.
Well, hopefully they're restarting.
Yeah, I'm guessing.
Hopefully they're restarting. All right, there's that. What can we find?
Yeah, I played them last night when I was jamming some Izzet, and it was an experience going down to 10 cards remaining in deck before I killed them.
One of you should just be looking at that button called F6 and pressing it like once.
Well, unfortunately, Zannty has that option because they're playing a blue deck, so like it's kind of hard to push F6 in the blue mirror.
I'm trying to figure out what did they clone the Thing in the Eyes with? Because there's a Thing in the Eyes on top of the library, but they also have one in play. So what did they copy it with?
It's probably in the bin. I think it's a 4-mana spell. I forget what it's called though. Is it a Mythos? I think it's a Mythos.
What is in?
You scroll.
What are you looking for?
Blue Mythos. The Blue Mythos. Pull the Blue Mythos up. I'm pretty sure that's the card they used to copy it. I could be wrong though. Be Mirror Maid as well. I'm not sure if Mirror Maid is legal, but the Mythos, the Blue Mythos is legal. It's a really weird Mythos that no one runs because it's not that great.
I have run that card in Gladiator for a short time because it can copy Field of the Dead, and then Field of the Dead got banned. I do not see Mythos in the graveyard, but yeah, okay.
I don't actually see anything in the art that could copy it. I'm curious.
It's a twin cast.
Yeah, well, I did play that Mythos against you last night, Loman, even though it didn't really work out.
Oh, were you the one? I thought it was them. I thought it was Necro that cast it against me. I was playing Necro on this deck, and they got me once when I was on a creature deck because their deck is like
last counter of Thing in the Eyes because that means you're. But I guess that's better. Getting in for 7, just trying to finish the game. I imagine Necro's going to lose this game on time. I can't.
Well, really... I mean, yeah, probably 31 seconds.
There's going to be too many actions that you're going to need to take. But to be
engulf the shores.
Engulf the shore.
No, I was playing Necro on this deck the other night, and I played him with like Storm, like red deck wins, and like some blue-red tempo deck, and then like
the thing that's copied. It's can't flip. It's just an 0-4.
Oh, that's right. It's just an 0-4. Oh no.
Neko, why are you not attacking with your 7/7?
I think they clicked it. No. It was probably lag. No. Probably lag. They could concede this one possibly and go to the next game.
Yeah, it seems like it. But I think Zannty's already won 1, it seems. If it scores
have they? Okay, well. Then,
yeah. If Zannty's up on game right now.
They wanted to be sporting because they probably lost this one.
Whoa, good points has.
I feel like in the long run, I feel like Zannty lost this one.
Yeah. There's a future sight in play in a Narset. Like you can't even draw that card. You're dead.
Cast like whatever happens. Like,
you're very dead.
That's remand. Twin cast a remand because I can. You shouldn't be playing that side. You should be killing them, and that doesn't matter.
All right. Well, you run out of time.
And as you're timing out what we're playing, we have the problem of the game is over actually.
Yeah, well,
Yeah,
never
no,
mind
wait
then. I will.
No, Necro timed out.
Indeed.
Unfortunate. Well, that's part of the problem of playing these low decks. I have kind of shifted the timing policy a little bit to basically making it so that, like, I get that not finishing 3 games in the allotted monoclock can be a little rough, but 2 games you should be able to. That is the current policy. So, like, we only allow to restart after game 3.
Yeah, I don't like it. I was just saying, like, if I'm in Zannty's spot, I'm probably like, I'll probably concede.
Marco, I'm conceding game 2. We're going to game 2.
Oh, okay, sweet. Yeah.
Okay.
I think that's totally. I think that's what I would
outs. I wanted to see if I could draw those outs. I'm not dead yet. That's why I played that out.
That's fair. That's fair.
Oh, what I was saying to Zannty is, now I don't think them playing to the routes is a bad thing, but I think I'd probably. I mean, the metal note didn't draw anything because of the Narset. I think you're in that spot. It's like give them a game 3. They got there, like kind of.
Technically, they didn't win.
They probably got there. like you block for 2 more turns, but I mean, you can't draw cards.
If Zannty is still in the hole, I do have to ask them, please have Zannty start the game and not Necro, because that's gonna make my life a little easier.
It's fine. It's fine, Red Mage. It's all cool. You'll start the game as you want.
Zannty, keep a fast hand too.
It's just a matter of like. Otherwise, I have to swap hands and player information, and it's just a pain.
Both games I played so far, I mulled the 5. I have not kept a 7 or 6 yet.
Keep some threats, please.
Thematic Compass helped me get all my land. Maybe you should be running Thematic Compass.
She does have a point. Have you considered running Thematic Compass?
Should we go to Tournament Voice so we don't hear you commenting on?
Yes, you should. You should go back to.
You absolutely should just leave. Also, I need to see Zannty's hand.
Fucking model blue Tron. Oh, fucking buffoonery. Oh.
Since it was brought up, I think that's something that should be mentioned actually.
Red Mage, I accidentally chose to play first. Do I concede the game and we go?
Yeah, just concede the game and then Zannty will have the play in the next game. It's fine.
Okay. I'm sorry.
That's okay. Don't worry about it.
It's fine.
So one thing I just want to be bringing up here, as Red Mage did mention, there has been changes to the timing, and as well as the points, rulings, and how we do that. In accordance to that, we have actually added a rules segment to the website, which we will be finding. You can find in the links and in the chat. I will just.
Yeah, I just put it live actually 10 minutes ago. you had updated the website and then you hadn't gone live. you hadn't published it. So, but yeah, but thanks for taking a look at that. Gosmith has been helping me with updating the website, which is something I haven't had a lot of time to do, and it's been a really good help. Thanks for doing that. So yeah,
there's a website for this. Oh shit!
There is a website. The 10th.weebly.com. It's exclamation point Tempe has the thing. And we have all of the information that, some of the information on that is out of date because I haven't been as able to. I haven't been able to put as much time into keeping the website up to date. But
personal blog, we're actually playing Yu-Gi-Oh.
Secretly been playing Yu-Gi-Oh the whole time.
Yeah. We're all just high on acid right now, tripping forever.
That's why we have turn 1 KOs.
That's why we have turn 1 Greater Gargadon. No.
How did this happen?
Elder Gargaroth. Gargadon, whatever.
I mean, to be fair, Elder Gargaroth does sound like a Yu-Gi-Oh card.
Yeah.
Gargaroth especially.
I think the reason I love it is like not just like the nature of the mechanics of the card itself, but just its name. Its name is just great. It's like, yep, get in there, buddy.
The name is great.
Like it just sounds.
I don't remember. Does it have flame text?
There is a song by comedic Italian group Elio e le storie tese called Gargarots, and I have been singing that to myself every time I play Elder Gargaroth. It's been great.
Zannty's hand's not that impressive right here. I mean, you got to do what you got to do, but Faithless Looting on a Mull is rugged. I guess they get rid of it. Makes sense.
What happened to these games, Zannty? Come on.
Well, they just didn't draw well, right? I mean, they didn't have hands they want to keep.
See, that's the problem. You should be drawing better.
Yeah, I mean, what are you gonna do? Although in this case, like, I think there's an argument to like not keeping the chain lightning and keeping the looting, even though you are vastly down on cards. I do think it's really imperative to get that first blue. I don't know, but they know their deck, and they've done really well within the tournament too. I think they've won a couple. The cycle hieroglyphic illumination. And what do we got? Island to make a game of it.
And as Zannty did point out in chat, actually, in the Discord chat, they did actually have a fine 7 for the first game, but then Necro made a mistake, and they had to
restart it. Necro's playing, hey, how keep was your hand? Oh, shit! I'll put it to 1 game.
Oh, buggers.
I only put it to 1 game, we'll have to restart. How good's your hand again? Oh, no, I did it again.
To be fair, I'm gonna have a hard time doing it twice in a row.
It'd be funny, but it'd be really greasy. I would find it humorous.
Yeah, I'm with you. It would be really funny.
Get out of here.
Unless your name happens to be Zannty.
Yeah, but then that's a small sample, right? It's like
Fog Bolt. Sadly, not a shock in this scenario.
Sadly not. You'd probably still throw it.
Yeah, notably, we cannot see the leftmost card right now.
Okay, that's what was throwing me off. So I'm like, I didn't see a blue source. I'm like, man, yeah.
Yeah, so before you Fog Bolt, kindly just, attack.
Yeah. You attack first, and then they know how to play this deck. They're looking through their options. Being a blue player, man.
But no one who doesn't know what he's doing.
What's the blue player? Like, it's fair. Like, they should be playing like a red player. You just balls the wall, like hit him as hard as you can, as fast as you can with everything. Totally fair.
And like just setting up the sinkhole for next turn, not bad.
I don't think sinkhole is going to do much in this form. I think the only card that is like, they're realistically going to want a sinkhole was just right there, unless they have like a Saheeli or something.
Now they have a sinkhole target.
Yeah, no, they do. There's a Threads Disloyalty. However, like that's not the most impressive thing thing to get to Threads.
Well, it's Sprite Dragon. Oh, sorry, Fairy Dragon.
Sprite. It is a fairy dragon. It's Sprite Dragon. Yeah.
Oh.
But it's Sprite like a fairy. It's not Spirit Dragon, unfortunately.
At least it's not Cola Dragon.
Sprite Dragon that actually both players could play in their decks because that is a legal card in Pennylander.
Yeah. What a motherfucking uncommon we got there.
Isn't it ridiculous? It's really a ridiculous card. I don't think it will stay a penny. I think it's seeing some play in Modern now. Like Modern Red Prowess.
I think Modern definitely saw some play. I think there was even perhaps a period in Legacy.
That seems ambitious, but the card is really good.
I believe it was around when Lurus was dominating Legacy.
Yeah. The card is really good. So, I mean...
Yeah. I don't hate the play of just Incinerate Phase, kill the Narset.
I actually like it. I like just throwing it at their face and then burning the Narset.
Just going like, having them remove spell for once in your life.
Yep. They're not going to have removal. They're going to have mass bounce more than likely, which honestly is not going to work out as favorably for them as they probably would hope it would, because it'll bounce 2 creatures back to the player's hands.
The one kaiju that actually sounds Russian. Dorat. Duh.
Yeah. I actually have that one.
Just kill off the Narset, remove options.
Yeah.
And get another +1/+1 counter on your Sprite Dragon.
Yeah, get him down to
And
7.
we're like, what, a bolt or some sort of way from actually lethally on board.
Yeah, bolt, or like even like if they were just to hit lands, I mean they could fire up this
Or any
Wandering Funeral.
dodging like a non-creature cost you can cost. Like a lot of options here, like as long as Necro doesn't have anything that really deals with Sprite Dragon. Or somehow wins the game.
The best way to like deal with it would be like mind control this. Like I'm like thinking of Pennylander cards right now because I know like, mind control would do it. Land's honestly not bad here because if they hit land next turn, it just turns on the Wandering Funeral and then like Necro can't attack because they're just like literally dead. But I guess they're just dead to any spell next turn as well in the air, unless they bounce this card, which it seems likely they're gonna probably into the Royal. They're gonna whisper.
Yes, Whispers of the Muse.
I think if you're gonna do this, you go for the pump
powers.
on it during your turn to see if you can like
Yeah,
find
that's
some-
what's happening as well.
Yeah.
Let's see. No, wait, no, it wasn't. Why during the combat step though?
Maybe they're trying to look for a bounce spell. Who knows? I mean, like right now they can't. Counter spells are not going to be that effective, but like they're not. Like I said, like this deck is like yeah, cycling neutralize. Yeah, they had it. It just didn't really matter all that much. And it wouldn't have mattered all that much regardless of what it was. I mean, if they cast an Ancestral Recall, like be like, all right, cool, whatever. I still get a +1/+1 counter.
Yeah, this is. I think this is the turn. Was like, do you have the answer? Like, yeah, you can definitely survive if they don't hit a non-creature. Jace.
Well, Jace means that now any spell doesn't kill
Wait,
you.
is
It
Jace
kills you if the
lethal?
spell is Lava Dart.
Yeah, it kills you if that spell's a cantrip that finds another card, or
Or a burn
a
spell.
burn spell. Yeah.
Yeah.
Or
we're
you
gonna,
know,
we're gonna have
land.
to call the Pennylander police because that's actually not legal.
Oh, it's not legal anymore. Oh
yeah,
no,
the card
Necro.
appears to be not legal in
Necro?
Penny.
Necro, not playing a real penny deck.
Come on, play a 2-man.
That's not a card that does anything here.
Sadly
So,
not.
I'm
take
gonna give her some shit in chat. You may proceed.
You may proceed.
This deck is not at a suitable budget level. You must apologize to the community in written form.
But I had it. I bought it when it was cheap. I don't care.
Permanently disqualified.
How are you gonna respect all the people who are buying into the format now?
All right, so 6 lands. I mean, what can be done here? Like they have like an Aether
Look, all I'm
Sprout.
saying is someone played a full-on Gladiator list last week.
A what?
Full-on Gladiator legal deck list last week, like a.
In what? In on Moto?
Yeah.
Yep.
And they didn't know. That's the greatest part. Like, did you know? Like, is this a did you sign up with the wrong deck or something? And they were like, what is Gladiator? It's like, okay.
Oh, maybe they just grabbed it off
What?
like this. There's a lot of folks, though, like you guys know this. There's a lot of folks who like
Whoa.
don't tend to build as much in this format.
Well, no,
And
absolutely.
they just grab
like,
a list, right? They'll just grab a list
But
and
the
be like,
fact was, it wasn't like just a deck that just happened to be using modern cards. It's like that was literally a Gladiator Aristocrats deck. Like,
how did it
this
do?
is like it's like someone like went into
remember-
like
you remember
a
who was it?
legacy event playing a standard deck, and I'm like, you're playing a literal standard deck. Oh, I'm not. I am.
Well, no, I think what probably happened is they went on the Canadian like Ben Wheeler's, deck share, like probably to grab a
Quite
list.
possibly.
They're like Kratz. They saw Kratz and they just copy pasted it and then like put it in their Moto and went to their card trader and got it, off a deck file or off a just
Absolutely,
text file.
such a thing as possible.
That's probably what happened. Like, yes, it probably wasn't like they put it together card by card and they're like, "Oh, I'll play this Canadian Highlander," because I mean they probably look at it and be like, "There's no Moxen in this deck. Like, what's up?"
Yep. No
I can see it
points or
happening.
nothing.
Now, what will
Just
be
the thought
hilarious
of, like,
here.
someone playing it.
So
Do
they're,
you remember
they're-
who it was? Was it Mudra Man?
Once again, mystical tutor
I don't
not
know. I
legal
don't
in
know who it
Penny.
is. No, certainly not. Yeah, but their deck's pretty close. Maybe they just put the pointed cards. in.
Clearly,
Yeah,
clearly
Mystical
we
Tutor-
have- we have
There are
to,
actually no pointed
ban-
cards that are legal. Yeah, that are
I might-
legal.
I believe you're a mod in the Pennylander. I think we have to ban someone here. Clearly, cheating.
Yeah.
It was the
Mystical
AFK Nacho was the one running.
Oh, they upgraded it.
Look at
So
all these
Aether
cards that are
Sprout-
very, very not legal. Oh boy.
Their deck's obviously built with a budget, though. It's just
Absolutely. It's the budget list. It's not a penny on the list.
it's pretty close.
It is.
Like, Thing in the Ice is also not legal. I wish it was, because that card's great.
Card is great. Probably,
So
I'm not going to go as far as saying too good. Not necessarily too good.
No. It's just
But
good
it's
matchups.
definitely real good.
I guess you force them to counter your thing with Aether Spouts.
Yeah.
And then play out your Goblin Guide. Well, you're basically just waiting to draw a Burn Spell, right? I mean, like, if you draw a Burn Spell, you probably win the game. And if you play Goblin Guide, you have 2 attackers to their 1 blocker.
Yeah, and if they play the Aether Spouts here, you get back your Mono Swift as well.
No, it's on the attacking creatures.
Only attacking
creatures.
Yeah.
Yeah, it doesn't work quite that way.
Plus, you don't even necessarily get it back, right? You just goes on top of the
I don't
bottom.
think I would take this back. I think I'd bottom it and just play out the Goblin Guide. And then look to fire up the Wandering Fumarole and attack with Guide.
The one that doesn't fly, which means you don't have to think about the Swift Spear.
That's true.
It's only 1 power, which against the Jays is currently a bit awkward.
Yeah. And you also probably know you have a ton of live draws that are red.
They likely have a fair bit of counter spells, so relying.
It could, yeah. I mean, like, maybe. They're drawing for more, so maybe they want that.
Yep.
So just a bunch of cantrips. Right. I would just give them Opt Land and Preordain. Seems like a good split. Pretty easy split.
Yeah, not much there.
So I believe they took the Opt, yeah.
Pretty curious in that one, depending, like, there's an argument for keeping the Opt just in case you want to be blocking with the Spear and killing the Goblin Guide.
Oh, I think they're blocking. I think they're going to leave the Swift Spear back, but I guess we'll see. We'll see what happens here. If they attack, I'd be pretty impressed. I'd be like, well, I don't know what the hell is going on here. Really just want to see a burn spell.
So they get it on top.
Oh, they did, okay.
In this case, actually turns out to be very relevant. Not completely. But Fairy Dragon, and maybe you hope to have them because of 2-mana spell, you know. You can try, you can dream.
Well, I mean, they could have, like, Into the Royal. Into the Royal could be a thing.
There is a question of whether you just spin up the Wandering Fumarole and be like, look, do you have something else? Because you're gonna have to block.
Line of play I was saying, but I think if you opt to take that line of play, I think in general you don't put the fairy on the Sprite Dragon on top.
It is awkward that the Wandering Fumarole cannot get in for damage, so that part maybe not great.
No, Bick gets in for damage. I mean, one of the two does, right?
Did the J stick down?
No, it did, yeah, it ticked down, yeah.
Because if
the J stick,
if the J sticks up, the Wandering Fumarole attacks as
0/4.
Yeah, attacks as a 0/4, and if you swap power and toughness, it dies. So that part's not great.
Evacuation or something? Commence the
Zannty is a judge, so he knows how that works. Well, he's not the judge yet.
Pretty good here. 6/6, kill off the Fumarole, kill off Goblin Guide.
Yeah.
That's pretty big.
Good. Pretty good.
Literally, it's a 6/6, so you know.
Yeah, but Dogen Shackle's gonna take care of most any creature.
Yeah, I mean, at this point, Zannty is just on the plan of, look, can I draw a freaking shock effect already?
Like, I'm depending on if Necro has much in the way of counters in hand, I wouldn't even hate just sacrificing the Jays here to just find some counters.
Or Highlander Archmage, you know.
If they're running that, they might be.
That's
Yep, Lindra.
Yeah, I think.
I don't hate that.
I think now Zannty needs to draw 3 burn spells. I think Necro might have this.
Only 2. If this is their only counter, they can get the first one counter and then instant speed while it's persisting.
While it's on. Yeah, but they're in the plan of drawing 0 counter spells. So.
Yeah.
I love Highlander Archmage. It's such a cool card.
Card's pretty good.
Do you counter this if you're a Necro? I presume you only do that if you have a 2-mana counter spell. So you want to keep that one. Yeah.
I would fight it and force them to use their Glen Lock, or at least half of it.
I want to get that Sprite Dragon out of the world.
I mean, the Sprite can't attack this turn still. And next turn, the Shackles
will... can, but it's not going to do much.
It can't attack this turn. And this Shackle...
Yeah, like literally any Prowess Trigger that has to jump block out of the way, so I suppose.
Yeah. But there's the Shackles problem, right? The Shackles are going to take it. So
Shackles is
one...
evil.
You know, I think this one's actually over in Necro's favor. They got there.
I think Necro needs a lot of help.
Zannty made a game mistake.
Zannty needs a lot of... It's a lot of top decks to be correct.
They run the spell mastery 3 mana 4 damage burn spell that can't be countered.
Oh yeah, if they had the exquisite firecraft, but
exquisite firecraft.
I see them hovering on the on-seat match button, so I'm assuming
I don't think so. I don't feel like that's the kind of card to play.
No, you shouldn't run it that deck. That'd just be funny. Be like, bam, gotcha.
It would be
easy every
hilarious.
time.
I will see you.
Firebolt. One land short of Firebolt. All right, that wouldn't work.
I mean, Firebolt's a sorcery anyway, right? So the Highlander can eat both halves.
Yeah. We'll just get rid of the Highlander.
Yeah. Zannty, do you have exquisite firecraft in your deck?
I believe so.
Oh, there you go.
Oh, I was gonna say you could have drawn it. Yeah, I was
You
like,
used it against me this match, I think.
yeah, I thought I'd seen it out of Zanty's deck. That's why I mentioned it. I was like, I'm pretty sure I've seen exquisite firecraft out of their deck, like just straight up like 4 damage.
That card would have been hilarious if it had happened.
I mean, it would. Also be
Oops,
sad
all
for me,
win.
but, like...
Yeah, but nobody cares about your feelings.
I'm really...
Wow!
I'm sorry. You just served it to me. I'm not
bullying?
sorry. I'm not gonna not take a shot when I see it. Anyway, let's go. Oh, before I keep saying let's go over and over for another 20 minutes. Couple of points. We took the time to I took the time to put the tournaments for next week up. So if you want to sign up, that's the tournament sheet is up. Exclamation point next event in chat will get you there, and so yeah, exclamation point next event in chat will get you there, or there's an announcement on the Discord. It's that's gonna be how that's going to be, and with that we are good to go. With a nice old yes.
No, I was gonna say the cannons are instruments in the chat. Yeah, that's kind of what I figured happened. Is he probably copied one out of Wheeler's Tapped Out, and it was not a Canlander list. It was a straight up Gladiator list, which is pretty sweet, anyways.
Yeah, no, it wasn't Brahms that was running. It was the AFK Nacho, but.
Oh, okay, all right. Yeah, I know there's quite a few people who do that.
Yeah, I mean, that's where my starting point is usually too, right? It's just like.
Oh, is it? Okay.
I mean, if I'm looking to look at an established archetype, usually my initial point is I will just look at the database, tapedout.net/user/Canadian Highlander database is the thing. I'm gonna find the thing in a second, and then I mean, then I will tune my I tune my decks myself. I think that's the fun part, that figuring out what the 5 cards you need to change to make it optimal is. That's the part where I have the most fun. But I will usually at least take the Wheeler database as a starting point.
Yeah, I guess I'm the outlier. I build all my own crap.
Yeah, it depends on what I'm building. Like if I'm building something I feel fairly confident in, I'll do it myself. But if I'm building a list where I feel out of my depth, if I'm building let's say Storm, then I'll ask someone I know who's played the Storm. But if I'm building mono, I was going to say mono aggro because I knew what that deck's like. But let's say a mono white weenie. If I'm building a white weenie deck, I think I can at least, and then maybe ask, hey, is there anything I forgot this list that's obvious and should just have been in there? I
think the most difficult decks to build correctly tend to be mid-range variants and control variants. Personally,
agreed.
Because you need to understand everything else that can happen, or that likely will and can happen, in the meta game or in a game of Canadian Highlander. And sometimes, I mean, I'm not even going to know all that. I mean, sometimes people bring some crazy ass shit, when you're just like, well, okay, this crazy ass stuff's going to kill me. All right, so we're on the go here. So we got Red versus Abzan. Okay, this feels like about how I expected. Looking at the games, these both feel about right in the finals. So Gerard's verdict probably going to nail a land and yeah, that fire ambush makes sense. I like that.
Yeah. I'm curious. You like fire ambush better than the skewer?
No, I probably would have gotten rid of. Well,
yeah, like I'm looking at
skewer's
skewer
cheaper, but ambush.
Yes.
It's the timing on it's awkward. Skewer's one of those cards where it's like it's always fucking awkward. Like you have to do it post combat generally, like or set it up with like another spell. Now you have two cards that are like that.
Yeah. Well, I don't think I would have been putting the island in the graveyard.
You can't be very happy to see Lingering Souls on turn 2 though.
Yeah, island gets a lot worse when your opponent's like turn 1 marks. I'm on the play.
Yeah. I mean, and it gets Souls too, right? Souls is just a fucking
beating. But you didn't know about the Souls at that point, admittedly.
No, you didn't. As we can see, I mean, it's going to do decent against them. I mean, I wouldn't be shocked if they just vindicate. If they can vindicate a land here, that'd be a baller move. Are they?
No. I actually wouldn't be that insane due to the lie of the stage.
I'd be very happy to have my Eidolon blown up there, to be honest with you.
Yeah. I think we just see a
bolt phase light up stage, or firebolt phase light up stage.
We're gonna see the light up stage. Then I think if you do that, why not firebolting?
That's what I'm saying too. I think you had firebolt because it's sorcery speed. That's no lands.
That's
all
the
right.
Lightning Phoenix, a new card from Jumpstart actually.
Mm-hmm. Well, it'd be nice if these cards went to the bin, but they unfortunately do not. They stay in exile. All right, see 3 visits, probably into a green-black producing land, and probably a recast of the Lingering Souls. Probably should not play this land out because you don't want to just die to Price of Progress. So I would not play this land, but looks like they're going to play it. Yeah, I don't agree with that. But that's cool.
Only 8 damage.
That's one of the they have a pretty good sizable advantage. Like I'm pretty happy to see those 2 cards that got exiled with light up the stage. Like I'd rather not just die to Price here. I'm always worried about it.
Do you kill a token here just to attack for 2 with a camera?
No, I rampage.
Yeah.
That makes every creature they play more damage. It's got Menace. Is it likely to be able to get in very effectively? No.
Yeah.
Probably not. But
if the Phoenix could block, maybe there was an argument for Phoenix. We're going to see the Phoenix
Phoenix just not. Okay. I think Phoenix is a worse card. I think it is a fine card. Don't get me wrong, but I think it's a worse card.
The card is not meant for the card. Correction. The card is actually kind of meant for this matchup.
Sure, it's a very good attritional card. Yeah, exactly. I just think Rampage. I think the upside on Ferocidon when you're kind of behind like this is probably higher, but I could be wrong.
I'm actually a bit surprised to see the double block there.
Me too.
I just imagine if you're Einstein, you just want to be going. Yeah, I'm taking 2. I'm slapping down a 4/5 next turn.
Yeah,
and casting Tainted Pact probably.
It's like one of the jokes I consistently make about like the best hate cards against red deck wins. People play some crazy shit to beat red deck wins, and I'm like, just play Tarmogoyfs, Tassigars, Gurmag Anglers, Tombstalkers, like just stupid big ass things. Like they just, like it's a problem. It's a big problem for them.
I drafted
like 2 and 3 for once,
I played some mono red in this format as well, and other formats. And God, a Brimats on the other side of the table is all it. I need to be going like, oh God, I'm sweating now.
big thick idiots.
Like
big thick idiots.
Doesn't have to be much.
That's a lot of damage right there, if that can happen. I think what I like doing here, is it 3 damage or is it 2 damage for the Lightning Phoenix?
It's 3 damage, sadly, but you can still get it through.
Yeah,
I do actually quite like
red
mana play.
Yeah, I like getting the Phoenix back to fly.
4 with 1 more land. So that is definitely a way to win, and you can even clear the flying blockers if you turn at the price of 2 damage.
Yep.
Assuming you draw a land, of course. I think that's the game plan right now. Just hope to draw that 4 card and
you gotta get that 6 in.
Set up the Confluence.
There are 12. I mean, that said, the Tainted Pact can find some significant life gain in this deck. There's some significant life gain regardless.
Yep.
Anyways.
Not of Autumn. Gaining forward. Definitely very real.
Yeah, pretty good amount.
I actually don't like not getting in with the spirits here. I really just like getting with the spirits. Once again. Like, if you give Wolfgang all the time that Wolfgang wants, Wolfgang's gonna kill you.
I think the clock's the same. I think the clock's pretty similar. So I don't.
Like you attack here, if they double block here, you just
bolt their face and get the thing back. Yeah.
Get it back, and like that raises the question: why did you? my best guess is that they don't know that the Lightning Phoenix can't block. I think they missed that.
That could be, yeah.
That is my 2 cents.
Could be.
I don't think that's completely obvious, to be fair.
Lightning Phoenix is a hell of an upgrade on Chandra's Phoenix.
Sure
It really is. 1 mana as opposed to 3 mana, big difference.
Yeah, and like, admittedly, yes, it does.
3 damage is a bit more.
Damage.
Yeah, 3 damage is a bit more.
That means you can do it with creatures, but usually when you're doing it with creatures, you're also.
All right. I like playing on a blocker this turn. I think they've correctly assessed they are not winning this race as it stands. However, this Chained Pact is likely to get a Palace Jailer or a Kitchen, whatever. This is a good card they first find. They're probably not going to be that picky. There's a million things that are good.
Can't really.
That doesn't work right now.
Kitchen Finks, yeah, will do. That'll do.
Yeah, Kitchen Finks close
That'll
enough.
do, Peg. And you know what? We're getting even greedier. We're going for Tarmogoyf. We're going even further. And you know what? Serene Transformation, just getting back Knights and Kitchen Finks.
Good.
It's pretty scary.
Yep, it's just fine. Scary.
Honestly, unless there's some card that just wins next turn, I think Arthur's getting way too big. Camball, Costing Beast.
Okay, this may win this turn.
I don't feel like that was worth it. Honestly.
I mean, no, it wins. It wins the game, so it's like, that makes sense. It makes sense to me. I mean, like, what are they going to do? They cast a bolt that kills the knight? I mean, I guess the knight still gets blocked. No, if they have like a burn spell, they can stay alive at 1.
No, they just jump block the Tezuka Knight.
Oh, that's right. This thing doesn't stop everything from blocking. It just stops things from blocking itself. Yeah, fair enough. I would have just gotten the Kitchen Finks. I probably would have seen the Finks and got it. Yeah. So what wins them the game now? Like, Price of Progress is actually still winning the game, right? No, that's dead. So you got 8 damage.
That is a bit of a Fiery Confluence, but Fiery Confluence, not enough.
Doesn't deal with the board.
Mala.
Yeah, Price would have done it. Price actually would have been lethal. That would have been a reason to actually lead back one of the spirits to block.
Would that have been 10 or 12 damage?
Would have only been 12, I believe.
Because I think it was only 10, which 2 with the Lightning Phoenix. That was 12 only.
Well, they had Searing Spear in hand, so Searing
Spear.
Yeah,
but they didn't have the mana for it as well. They drew it. They only have 3.
That's fair. Yeah, they only had 3. Yeah. That's right.
Which is why they couldn't play the Confluence.
That is a reasonable card, in my opinion, to play around from the Abzan player side, though, because like, how do I die here? It's only this.
Yeah, absolutely. Like, there does come a point where you're like, I'm so far ahead.
Why am I doing more stuff? Yeah. Why am I casting out more lands that just kill me?
Marked again.
Well, I'm running 3, so that's going to be something they draw more often, and it's going to be pretty good in these matchups.
I don't really see a reason to play it here, honestly. Just make your opponent think you're slower than you actually are.
Yeah, there's no discard in their deck. I mean, if anything, you get punished.
I honestly don't like Wolfgang's Keep here. Like, yeah, Searing Blood's gonna be good against the birds and some of the cards that you see, but like, you're playing a free drop at first, or like Hellspark. Like, I've gone off Hellspark. I want my creatures to stay in play.
Yeah, I don't really care for Hellspark that much either. I may still run it. I can't recall. They're playing the slow game, hoping they don't have enough lands. I don't think that's gonna work out for them because they're, well, as we know, their OP is a bazillion lands in hand, and it's a Bailite deck. It runs a lot of lands, but we'll see. Play out their swamp. I quite like playing out the swamp here, just to take, like, again, build up less equity for Price of Progress. What could work out well for them is if they cast out the Hellspark here and attack. Their OP's most likely play is to probably play out the Tireless Tracker if they don't draw something better, which Tireless Tracker tends to be like a 4-drop. You tend to treat it as a 4-drop in a lot of these decks.
Yeah.
They could just do nothing and leave up swords.
I think this is exactly the kind of matchup where I'm like fine treating it as a free drop, depending on the I think this is a situation where I won't.
Yeah, they want to leave up their removal. I think here is a perfect time just to resolve this stupid Sulfuric Vortex. Your OP's doing nothing. You're very happy to sit and do nothing with them. So.
I'm curious. Do you vindicate the Vortex immediately, or do you just go tracker?
I think I try to get the tracker down, but I'm not that comfortable with it. Because you got to win, right? Like, the biggest thing I think people do wrong playing against Red Deck wins is they don't try to win. Like, they try to stay away. They try to not lose.
I really like. Why not go for the Inquisition immediately?
Because they want the clue token. Yeah.
I don't feel like that's needed.
They should get a forest off this, though, in my opinion.
As weird as that sounds,
they're getting the Savannah,
I think not getting the clue there would have been better. Well, not getting. rather just getting the information first. Just in case you're like, shit, I'm gonna die to that Vortex if I don't kill it now. Like, they had like price of progress. Like, what can I say?
Oh, well, there it is. Whoop, there it is.
I am a prophet.
It's just one of those cards that, like, when it shows up, it shows up to battle.
Look, it's one of the. You know how like in games you have those like things where like you level up specific skills. I played
It's the Trump card.
Like, I just know
you know when it's coming.
Progress is.
No, I tend to be very good at playing around it too. Sometimes I can't, and I don't. But I mean, when I can, like, I very much so try to, because it's. There are a lot of games where you'll get into a position against red deck wins where you're like, all right, don't draw the price. And a lot of times you can put yourself in positions where they can't. Even if they do draw the price, you're not going to die to it. Yeah. That's why you also see includes like Dramoka's command in this deck, which just utterly ranch price. Just make it so.
One thing people don't actually realize about us mono red players is that we actually have a mythical force referred to as the burn. You can just kind of feel and manipulate it. Kind of like a Jedi, basically.
You just know when the price is coming.
Exactly. Not just the price, just the right burn spell.
This is 6 on the.
Depending on how good you are, you can just like. Just manipulate that price of progress.
Can they kill the turns? They play out the boomer or the boomerang barbarian.
Okay, boomer.
Boomerang. If you know what the card boomerang is, you probably are a boomer.
Hey, blue sorcery. Let's go. Gotta get us some mines and some owls going. Let's go.
It's not a source.
I wasn't playing back then though.
It's definitely an instant. Yeah, it's pretty messed up magic card.
Wait, it's an instant?
Yeah.
Oh yes, it's pretty fucked up. It's one of the more fucked up bounce spells.
Makes sense.
It bounces lands.
Why does it hit lands?
Yeah, exactly. It's just it's because it was a Legends card, I believe. Because they didn't know anything about Magic yet. They're like, throw some Black Lotuses out there. Boomerang sounds great. Time Elemental, great. All right, so they get them for
That
3.
is a weird use of Bowman Courier, but I think it's also correct. Considering it's
take 6, take 2, good game.
Yeah, it's like, you kind of have to block the health back element, so you don't realize it. Kind of have. Actually, no, that will.
Well, one of the things I was saying, remember when I go back a little bit, I was like, I think they should get a forest with this fetch land, but I think they're going to get a savannah. They did not get the savannah, they got the bayou, but it was a dual land, and I was like, I think you need to get a forest here, because, like, one of the ways you lose here is drawing to it. They're like, I can draw my stifle, my squelch.
You've got to draw exactly a Abrupt Decay or Assassin's Trophy, I think.
No, that doesn't do it. This trigger's on the stack already.
Well, you kill the Sulfuric Vortex and then you Soul Splash as your creature.
Fair enough. You can do that.
And then you probably win because
like,
you have a
real deep. How salty would you be if you're Wolfgang and that they won that? Like, God damn it! Like, fuck's sake.
Honestly, I'd be like, respect.
Good on you. You'd be fine anyways, because like, actually, are you dead? You wouldn't be dead, I don't think, either, because you could actually crack your land next turn.
Exactly.
You'd be real close. You'd be like 2.
Like Wolfgang there, and just finding like the line that just. I don't put your opponent such a low life total, they were probably going to die to that either way.
Now this red hand is horrible.
What do you mean? That's instant keep. I don't see a problem.
Instant keep. Instant keep. Got a 1/1 with menace on turn 2.
Just gotta draw all the burn spells and such. Like.
Now this, I think, this is a hand I think you have to keep, but I don't like it. If that matters.
Yeah, from Wolfgang point of view.
I don't like it, but I think you have to keep it.
This is an interesting question. Like, what do you put in the? Oh, this is a greater hand. This is a much better hand.
It is.
Yeah, you put down one of the 3.
Definitely I don't like the lava dart there. But yeah, 3-drop lava dart.
But
I like the vampire.
I actually could have seen putting the Frozen on the bottom.
Yeah, I like the 1-drops better than I like the 3-drops, but they may be going for more powerful hits.
Arguably, I think they put the worst 1-drop on the bottom in this matchup.
Yeah, I much prefer it over Ice Golem.
Like, they're definitely both really top tier 1-drops.
I think the question you have to ask yourself is, am I winning by turn 4 in this matchup? Because if you are, the Ice Hide Golem is going to be probably more in general.
And with a mulligan to 5...
In this matchup on a mulligan to 5, you are not winning by turn 4. Right?
I feel like the game plan is try and resolve a Andrus Ravager and draw a bunch of cards out of that. Yeah,
you gotta have burn this idiot off. Yeah, you hate burning this thing off though. That card is so horrible to burn off. That's why I love that card. It's just so miserable to remove.
Yeah, it's like
God
so
damn.
underrated.
Drew me two cards, or not didn't draw me 2 cards, but set up my graveyard, gave me 2 life, and then just sucked out a removal spell.
Bit of a luck situation here. Guess we're just gonna see -2 on Liliana, I expect.
Yeah, that'd be my guess too. But one of the nice things is you can actually just leave up your madness. I wouldn't be shocked if we saw
we see
Wolfgang
Mountain at one point here.
Well, no. Can you like? I like this line of play.
No,
like,
I think we're just gonna see the. Are we gonna see the Manning? Wait, how much is it for the Madness? Is it 2 or 3? So if it's
the what?
2,
it's 2. It's 2. So they can get it out.
2.
Yeah, except it's not gonna work.
Oh yeah, just looks like you're Madness screwed, which I suppose you are.
You are.
But there's gonna be a bit of a problem here.
Mm-hmm. Well, there's not, because they should have done the Inquisition first. They're gonna do this one first, which so they have to let resolve.
Yeah, and it has to take the braid suddenly, because if they don't, well.
Yeah, and then the Liliana cannot uptick.
Yeah, I mean, but you only have one white mana, so you can't do both, right?
Well, the Liliana can uptick if they have to abrade this, and they can just knock out the Stormblood, more than likely.
Yeah, I mean, but like, I don't think it makes sense for Liliana to uptick if Einstein can tap
with their hand. Argument that this goes down. No, that wouldn't work. Yeah, because they'd respond.
No, I'm just saying, take one of the 3 drops and then force the abrade. Because if the abrade has to happen, the Liliana can still uptick, and you can take 2 hours.
If you take a free drop, you take the Ravager 100% all the way.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know.
That allows you to then follow up with Liliana. If they kill
the Ferocydon is pretty scary
Tidal, they're not gonna trigger it. You have a Liliana 2, which means you can kill any creature.
Well, the point, Red Mage, is that the Ravager has Madness for 2. So now if they update, they basically can't discard the Ravager.
Right.
Or if they do, it just comes into play.
I didn't love that choice of discard spell.
Yeah, I think I'm happy with the 2. I'm like, all right, cool, great, love it.
You're like,
and they're not going to uptick. I don't think Liliana should be in this deck, period. But hey, who am I?
Oh, really? Curious.
Nope. Do not think so. It's not a Loam deck. Like, it doesn't really accrue advantage like a lands deck does. Now, if you're on like Life from the Loam, Remnant Excavator, Crucible of Worlds, and like you're drawing a lot of cards, or you have a lot of interchangeable cards you can get back from your library or your graveyard with Wrenn and 6, sure, all about it. But I just don't think this deck does that.
Yeah, and we just plus here.
I mean, it's going to be good when your opponent mulligans to 5 every time, right? Like, it's just not going to consistently be good, is my point. And I think for a 3-mana card, if it's not consistently good, or you're not if there's turns you're not upticking it, like this last turn, why are you playing it, right? I do think what I like doing is being patient here and seeing what they draw and see if they uptick their Liliana before playing something.
Yeah, exactly.
And then, it's just...
Okay, you can even wait, let them uptick and just be like, yeah, might as well.
Yeah, exactly. It's pretty free. They're going to uptick it now, and you just go ahead and throw this bolt.
Kill it.
Yeah. See if you get lucky, and maybe they have a 6-drop in hand, and they're like, well,
like
I'll
this at this point of the game, Goblin Guy, not one we've been seeing here.
Nope.
Not too bad. They can block. He can also attack, apparently.
I'm going to attack with it. Like, why would I want to block with it? I get a braid.
I mean,
Final push.
How do you besides getting incredibly lucky, which is of course always.
Well, that's going to require. That's going to be 100% required here. Like, luck is like there's no way to win this straight up. like if your draws are both pretty average, like
I think there's 2 cards that really win you this game, unless I'm forgetting something that will maybe
Confluence and fucking in the stupid Price of Progress. I think.
Well, I wasn't actually thinking of Confluence.
Mm-hmm. What were you thinking of?
I was thinking of
that's not a bad one.
Skullclamp.
Skullclamp
is definitely a way to win the game as well.
Sure.
I do quite like the Aggro Crusher here.
Yeah,
but I just don't really like not attacking now. Like, I feel like you're committed to attacking here. You should know what's on top. Actually, no, they drew it. In which case, I guess that's an argument. Yeah, I actually guess that's kind of an argument. You don't want to be giving them the additional card just for them to kill the guy with the push. But they're just gonna wait.
Like, they can also block the stupid Tide Hollow Sculler if they want to attack with it and get back.
No, yeah, true. But like at that point.
No, I don't like it either. I think I would have attacked too. But
it just forces them to use the fatal push.
Mm-hmm.
Green's Unseen Lift, that's actually really good here. you can get like a kitchen phase or something here.
Siege
Still
Rhino.
push Siege Rhino.
Yeah, I'd probably get the Rhino. This is huge. And
That's
pretty
a way
unbeatable.
towards the Crasher 2 exert if you want to be tagging.
They get really aggressive and get the questing beast, which
Yeah, I
actually
don't
will
hate
not be able to block. As long as we get 6 in. Although, honestly, like at this point, like if they hit another land, they can get in for 7, and then price of progress top deck.
With the Tide Hello. Is that Goblin guy's gonna trade?
No. I think honestly at this point you actually don't trade with it. They do, because if you hit a land here, you can get them for 7, and then look to try to mise into the price and win from there.
Yeah, definitely. Price is how you win this game, like 100%.
Yeah, that's not a bad draw.
Curious,
They can block too.
Yep, it seems like we're gonna be getting 3 damage.
Oh hell yeah, I take the 3 here. I mean, you got to trade damage here. Like it's just, and you're not even going to trade it next turn. You're going to get 2 in. You're going to cast the stupid orc out, block.
Yeah, like the Hellraiser is like, haha.
It's a free block.
Lovely
for a shock.
Push, lovely attacker, lovely everything.
Yeah, you're right. It's probably going to get fatal pushed. Although I don't know that it should.
Remember when I said you should get kitchen things?
You just draw it sometimes, anyways, right?
But what if he just drew?
Yeah, we're getting real aggressive here from Einstein.
I like the push here, actually. I like
it.
They're on 1 card. You know what it is. It's like, hey, even fatal push right now is not going to kill you. You know you draw Finks. Like, you got a good blocker.
That's not going to work, Body Pal.
There is at least one scenario where somehow I looked on Skyfall for Kitchen Sphinx instead of Kitchen Sphinx, and I was like, what is wrong with me?
I know. I mean, cooks like a goddamn fiend. So, how do you get out of this? Fire Blast, top deck, into price at 6-10. You get 3 in next turn. Kerry Zev's not doing it.
So curious results came up when searching Kitchen Sphinx.
Collective Brutality? Nope, not Collective Brutality. That has to be the game winner.
Nothing came up. So Kitchen Sphinx, no.
We got a DRS here. DRS also pretty good.
Yeah, also gain some life.
Yup. Threatens lethal.
Yeah. Now I believe there are 0 draws in deck. Well, there is a burst of lightning. They can kill off the the questing beast. Actually, they could. Can they block? They can block next turn and stay at 2. So they can.
There's one minor problem with the idea of killing the questing beast, and it's called Deathrite Shaman.
No. But there's a burst lightning enhance. You burst lightning the stupid Deathrite Shaman. Then you block with the 3/2 on the questing beast, and then you braid the beast, killing it, 2 for 1 of yourself. Then you block at disadvantage. At disadvantage versus the things chumping.
Oh, was that
and
a
staying
match?
Yeah, that's match. Yeah.
Oh, okay, sorry, I completely missed that. This was that Einstein had already won a game.
They won the first one pretty quickly. I think it was a decently heavy mulligan, and they had some good stuff. I mean, they're on Abzan. It's a hard matchup for Red. It should be. In general.
Yeah, and then we saw the exact season from Wolfgang as well.
Yep.
Well, Necro. We still have
Necro
Necro
2-1 in Einstein's favor. If I'm not incorrect.
Necro's still going. How is that? They have the fastest deck here.
Let's see.
Yeah, they should be losing quickly. I mean,
Well, no, honestly, like that deck's pretty decent against like board-based mid-range decks. It's fine, you know. Against really aggressive red decks, it's utter DS. But
actually, other than Einstein and Loading and other than Evios and Loading and the Fisher match, everybody's still going. So,
all right, let's grab it. Let's jump into one.
Let's watch
I don't care. Jump into one.
Yeah, let's watch Simpleman and Blahguy.
I do need to run relatively soon, though. Probably in the next 15 minutes, I'm gonna need to head out. So see you guys.
The matchup is winding down, but if you need to head out before it's over, thanks. Thanks for being here, and obviously.
Yeah, of course. I got a little more time.
Simpleman and Blahguy. 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 I can't see them, so I'm assuming that.
Are they playing that many matches at the same time?
I was like, why are you saying this over and over again? I thought Discord broke. I thought Discord broke. I was like,
I was looking for the damn thing in the
the match. You're looking for the match in Moto.
Yes.
Okay.
I was looking for the thing in the thing. What wasn't clear about that?
Imagine playing some tournament on Modo and being like, yeah, I'm just gonna multi-queue. And just multi-queue into the person you're already playing against.
That's a thing.
Tournament. Like,
I want to get a real good feel. I want to get a real good feel for this matchup. What do you say we fucking go triple Q? Same matchup. Really want to know.
Just like best of 20. All the matches just stop becoming one.
No, there's some old Moto bugs where like you could get into like a game and it would turn into like 40 games. You'd be like stuck in 40 games trying to X out of them. Like, no, please stop.
There's a Moto bug for almost everything.
I haven't seen that one in a while where like there'd be like 40 games, be like Loman02 times 40 against like the same person. You're like, what the fuck? What's wrong with this Loman02 guy? What's jackass? Started 20 games at once.
Brian Wong at one point when they still were doing like the season leaderboard on Moto for things, he made a point to try and put as many accounts as possible onto the same leaderboard for I don't remember which period. So they were like Brian Wong, Brian Wong's evil twin, Brian Wong's giant ego, and it just kept going.
Yeah.
Like 5 out of 10 people were him.
Yeah, I'm shocked he didn't get in trouble for that. You actually had to be careful. I mean, I'm sure he wasn't doing anything untoward, but like that would beg questions, right?
Yeah, no. I mean, he didn't. They did not say anything, as far as I understand. I don't know if that's.
Well, the guy's obviously an exceptional Magic player, so I mean, like, I'm sure he wasn't actually colluding. But like, you have like multiple accounts that belong to you in like a leaderboard. You're like,
What was Symbolman doing again? No.
What were they on?
Yeah, that's.
I forget. We'll see momentarily. I think they were on like a
Bant Blink.
I can't remember.
Right, Bant Blink.
Bant Blink. Okay, yep, makes sense. Yeah, we saw them versus the Dredge deck in round 1, which I think in general should favor them. This matchup should favor them generally. You play like a Sylvan Caryatid here. Gosmic can tell you how much they love seeing Sylvan Caryatid on turn 2.
Once again, depends on my deck list.
Yeah. If you have Time Vault in your deck list, great. Playing red cards, not as great. Although, I mean, you got Infuriates and like Brute Strengths and stuff like that, or Brute Force. That one's not as great, but I mean, it still is something that like begs an answer.
It still looks at that Bowman career like, hello.
Yeah, it's like, hey, I'll block you. It's not going to get to block it. I mean, maybe it won't. We'll see. On 7 cards, I would doubt it's going to get to block. My guess would be there's a 1 to 2 damage burn spell that can deal with it.
Problem with that is you're just not developing a board if you're killing it.
Yeah, you're playing to advantage, right, on the bow map, in hopes that later on you'll have more to do. I mean, obviously, the most ideal play would be like 1 drop plus burn spell. But again, this is one of the down.
I think even better is attack, combat trick.
Sure. But don't your combat tricks in red or black give you trample, right? So like, I don't know if they're...
No, it's mostly because you just don't feel as bad for playing that burst lightning on the 1/1 as great.
Well, combat tricks can trade up a little bit more though, right? I mean, like you can get like
especially against green, like that is a matchup where you really want your combat tricks. Like that's the reason why I play them.
All right, they're just not attacking, so they're gonna just develop their board, which I think is reasonable. If they have a good 2-mana proactive play to make, like a Dark Confidant or something. Yeah, I mean, you don't block it. They play like Terminate and like a lot of hand attack. They just miss. Oh no, that can't feel great. It's like, god damn it.
Highly doubtful. What are we just going to see? Like a Visionary and Noble?
You're going to see a Visionary and a Noble Hierarch here. And now they know they have Vesper Lark, so they know killing any of this junk is just going to bring it back. Yep. Although we'll see an elite card mage next turn.
Like I at this point, if I'm Blahguy, I'm going to be thinking, okay, so how do I win game 2 again? Or game 3?
Oh, maybe on like Arc Trail.
They're on game
Arc
2.
Lightning.
Aggro go burr.
Arc Lightning. I mean, it wouldn't really. It would be good here, but like, it should not be running that in your red deck. But it'd be very good here. But really only momentarily, because then you're gonna have like Elite Guard Mage and fucking Rakdos. You're just like, God damn it, not again. Pretty easy block on the snake elf.
Snake Elf Druid.
They have yeah, it's got a lot of types.
Let's see me cards I want to.
They sacked? Oh, they sacked. They had all lands in hand. No shit, huh? So their hand was not great. Well, there's a menace card. Oh no! Oh no! Oh no! Oh, oh no! Oh no! That's so bad. This feels so wrong.
What happened?
Look at that card they just drew. Yeah.
Oh no!
Yeah, Cosmic Command help. Yes, help. Blahguy needs help. Poor fella. You get thoroughly ranched. I will play. I'll play my 5-drop.
Bad.
No, right.
That is just.
I'd play the other one,
horrible.
just be even dirtier. Be like, here you go. Nice
Like,
menace
look at
creatures.
this. Like, all of their cards just gain life now.
You got a Hermit Druid that gains me life.
I mean, I defeated the Bant Blink list in the tournaments in Mono Rep before. Like, it's not like I was insanely
Blahguy is
fucking
like,
anything.
we're just done here. I don't
Yeah.
even want to
Like,
be a
no.
of this garbage.
They know the rest of it. They know everything except for Elite Guard Mage. They don't know Elite Guard Mage, but they
And
know that
Field of Ruin.
Rakdos coming too. They don't know Field of Ruin. That's an irrelevant one. But
Like,
I mean,
the Frax
they know they're
is
dead.
enough.
Yeah, Thragtusk with lifelink after gaining you 5, and then making another 3/3 lifelink. You're just like, why is this happening?
I'm pardon. Wait, no lifelink.
Hmm? Oh, I'm sorry. No, it doesn't give everything lifelink. I thought it gave everything lifelink too. I was like, this card's
Just
so.
make it into a 4/4 token instead. Though.
Yeah, it does
Just as
do
good.
that. Again, the best way to beat red-based decks, just kill them. just kill them dead.
How do you win? I just kill him.
I just kill them.
But
you
what
know?
if they died?
Yeah, you can play this kitchen.
Then I
phase,
win.
But if they just died, then you could just win.
What if they kill you? But then I failed. I see no problem here. Ah, yes. The
What is the last card to land? Oh, it's 2 tapped lands in Cybelman's hand.
Yeah, that's looking kind of awkward. Not sure why the match is still stuck on that screen.
They probably went to a different game. That's probably why we're seeing some hands-on information. So, Red Mage, we're gonna have to jump out of this game. My guess would be they went to refresh clocks, and they're in a separate game right now. That's why we're able to see Cybelman's hand. Oh, their hand is good. It's got another forest in it. It's pretty good. Red Mage, you there, buddy?
I'm trying. There you go.
Oh, okay, all right. I
Found
just
it.
want to make sure you knew what was going on. Yeah, I was
Yeah.
like, I'm pretty sure they started another game for time, and we're definitely seeing one of their hands. So
Yeah.
Yeah, Blahguy's hand is Blahguy sadly cannot show.
it's
their
fine.
hand, so.
I don't think it's a big deal. I mean, last game it was just all lands for
So,
that Bomat
If they
career.
draw the price, don't
Poor-
worry.
poor
You don't
Blahguy.
need to know it. I'll predict it if they have it.
Yeah, I don't think price is going to matter that much in this matchup. Something tells me.
It's already a deal 4. I mean, what is
Yeah, it's already a one-sided flame rift. The card's amazing.
it's not a one-sided flame rift.
Yeah, now it's about close to flame rift. It's getting closer.
In Black Eyes Tech, it definitely isn't.
No, it's basically just flame rift a lot of the time.
Flame rift
I
with
played
higher
a
upside.
few times where it is like just literally flame rift. Oh, Wall of Omens, another card that red based aggressive decks love to see. It's like, God
Nope.
damn it, Wall of Blossoms, not again.
Did I really need to make a white version of this card? It was better enough when it was green.
Ah.
Yeah. But as soon as they up against like Paradox Engine, I guess Paradox is a decent matchup for Bant Blink if you have the right. Not great.
It's
but I
it's
mean,
pretty bad. Storm is probably your stone nut worst. Like
Yeah.
Storm is just horrible. You're just like, I'm dead.
Oh, cool. I
I
died.
feel like actually,
Yeah, like I died on turn 4 and I did nothing. Well, that sucks. You know?
I played
Well,
the
like,
hand. Cool.
Jeremy White was playing that 1/6 drop. It's got like vigilance and like it can basically no one can cast like sorceries or instants, or planeswalkers, or enchantments, or artifacts, or something like that. It says something weird like that, where it's like
the green white one.
Oh
yeah,
no,
the green
Archon
white
of Valor's
4-mana
Rage.
one.
Yeah.
That one, yeah. He used to run that because like it's such a dog shit matchup. You're just like, what are you gonna do? You will resolutely be dead by turn 4. Like, so you gotta like turbo that thing out and like stop them some way.
Yeah, the only way you win
That's not
is
even
by
a great way to stop
walking
them.
them even faster.
Yeah, it's not a great time walk, but and that's kind of one of the reasons why I like the Bant time walk list a little better. But the list I tend to run with the time walk combo and it run less Tamiyo and less Brahgo, and more just like little cantrippy style stuff to like just get the combo set up. Which obviously assumes a little more risk against decks like one Blahguy's running because they have to intrinsically use less removal against you because you're not playing big dumbasses that just kill them. So you basically play a bunch of walls and stuff.
I think it's pretty fair to find a hybrid in between those two, at least in this meta.
That's kind of like where I end up going is like I think in the version I've got a couple versions of it, and like there's a very linear version of it that I made back when there were less pointings on Storm, and it was very fast and impossible to beat for that style of deck. So I made it very linear so it could turn 4 as often as I could make it at turn 4. So if I won die rolls, I could win. And then there are some versions I got now that are more like Restoration Angel, more like I think it does have a Thrag Tusk at the top end, like more, just stuff like that is very good in these kind of fair matchups. I kind of just like Elite Guard Maging here. I think, yeah. Don't think it's a Brahgo turn yet. I could see Brahgoing here, I suppose. And then look to set up the Elite Guard Mage next turn.
The lovely thing about commenting on this matchup is that you just get to kick up your legs and be like, yeah, I think Simpleman's got this.
Oh, no, they do. I mean, they got a lot of options here. I don't think
this is not a horrible situation for Blahguy. They do have some pretty decent cards in this matchup. Like, you wouldn't be playing your cost to punch hard. You want to be playing your giants and such.
Yeah, I actually don't mind Brahgo. They're setting up for the long game, so they're going to take a beat.
Brahgo, Zampari, Elite Guard Mage next turn.
Yeah.
Maybe if you have a
gain
good
6, draw 2. Seems good. That depends. This thing could just die too, because I mean, Blahguy does run literal removal. They're eliminate. Dreadbore is in their list. Terminate. I think Terminate was the game-winning card.
Definitely don't see so much anymore.
What's that?
Eliminate.
Terminate.
That doesn't. Yeah, Terminate. Sorry, not Eliminate. Eliminate does see a lot of play now.
Yeah.
Eliminate doesn't see a lot of play.
Correct. I think they're on Angress Rampage too. They have a lot of removal cards. Well, they're going to take a big beat.
Choo choo.
Mm-hmm.
That is what. Assuming they don't chump block, so that's 5. 6,
well, they should.
7.
They don't need to chump. They can just block one of these. They can block the 2/1, right?
Why is
take 1?
Why is Judith not getting in?
Because it would die to the Brahgo in combat.
No, it wouldn't, because the Earthshaker prevents that.
The Earthshaker targeted the wall. I mean, I don't think that's right.
It's only less than, right? It's only less than. Correct.
Yeah.
And then the ping from Judith will kill the Brahgo.
But they're in a pretty troubled spot. I mean, this is a lot of power.
You're definitely a real card here.
Palace Jailer could just murder the entire board right now. So if you turn the wall into a Palace Jailer, you get to take one thing. If you attack, you get to Palace Jailer again, and you can give basically your Palace Jailer plus your other thing, Vigilance. You can also Green Sun Zenith for a 1-drop.
Well, the thing about that, you say plus your other thing. What other thing?
Your Palace Jailer. So your Palace, you can basically. Well, I guess we're gonna do this. I think I actually like finding the Jailer with the wall, Jailering the Judith or whatever, Jailering another card, like probably the stupid 4/3. Well, maybe not. Maybe not. Maybe you leave the Judith, you take the 3/3 and the 4/3.
I think if you go down that road, I think you want to be Green Sunning for 1 then.
No, 100%. You play the land, you just Green Sun for 0 or 1 if you have Dry in your deck. I guess you can get that.
I don't like this play though.
No, neither do I. I mean, they get double activations on Tamiyo here, I suppose, which it's just very passive. But they can tap down this thing, so they can't get the draw next turn, which is a thing.
I preferred holding up Life Gang or playing Life Gang there and holding up Path to Exile.
Well, Path you didn't know about. Yeah, you didn't know about that. So
did they draw the Path off of?
They drew the Path off.
What we get here.
Yeah, they drew the Path. So
pretty good. Soul Herder, probably too slow and irrelevant when you have a Brahguy already.
Yeah, now the line I think almost resolutely has to be Eldritch Evolution to find your Palace Jailer and go to town. Palace Jailer is literally the best card in their deck. Like it's the card that probably wins in the most games, and it will most certainly lock this up, especially with a couple of Tandeo taps as well.
Yeah, presuming we don't see the Burn Spellful Lethal kind of line of play, which we could absolutely do.
This is going to get blocked by the wall, right?
Yeah, the wall.
And
if not, I'm going to be very surprised.
Yeah, no, I mean it's possible they have price.
Price.
Yeah, price could happen. They're down to one card. If it's price, it's price. There's a separate, more passive line where you just play out the Elite Guard Mage and leave up Path as well, which I could see happening. I don't know what the hard decision is here. You have to block this. You don't let it through. If they kill your wall, they kill your wall. So be it. Okay, Wild Slash. That does take care of the Tamiyo, which is not irrelevant because that does take away a tapper for next turn. So with them at 0 cards, I do think you just go for the hardcore Palace Jailer the hell out of you line of play. Yeah, and I mean, if you happen to hit another land, then you could leave up Ghostly Flicker, which would be a beating.
The one argument I see against this is the fact that you're just...
They're not doing it, so they're just going to attack. This is probably the most wrong play I've seen because, I just... How are you dead? So you Palace Jailer twice. 3 times even if you hit a land.
Fiery Confluence.
Prize is only card.
Well, sure, but I mean, Confluence, we're going to play around cards they draw, but I mean, you're playing around the board at this very point in time. What do you think they're dead, you guys, man?
At the very least, if you're going to attack with Brahguy, what do you not... What's the area?
Why are you not playing main 1? Yeah, why are you not playing main 1? So, your line of play is... Your line of play is either play Elite Guard Mage and leave up the Path to Exile, or go really aggressive and get double Palace Jailer activation. If you hit a land like we did here, then you go Palace Jailer plus Ghostly Flicker and just fucking ruin them.
I think there's definitely an argument for going Guard Mage, Exile, one of the 2 primary threats in Ravager, or maybe
if you're gonna do the Deputy Detention. I think it's either Guard Mage or go for broke on the Jailer, and I don't think the Jailer is really that bad a line.
I agree.
Yeah. But yeah, I don't know.
Ghostly Flicker?
Yeah, so if you hit the land, then you can Ghostly Flicker your Jailer plus your wall, and then you can Jailer a third card.
Even better. You can. Okay, so while this should have been happening prior to attacking, probably you can sack the Omen, get Jailer, exile a creature, Ghostly Flicker, target your planes and your Jailer, exile something else, hold up Path.
Sure, that's fine too. I mean, ideally, you just have 3. You basically have
ideally you had attack with the prior.
Yeah.
Sure, you didn't know. Yeah, you wouldn't have hit the land, but okay, fine. You're not holding up Path. And I guess
you still have 3 things killed. It's you have 3 blockers. First 2 things.
Ghostly Flicker is the one you're not doing, but that's because you Brahguy instead. Are we gonna go for
they're gonna combo?
Oh, they're gonna try to combo. Okay, that's fine too.
Yeah,
that's
I think that might be a win.
Get it?
No, it is. Yeah, they just get Ephemerate and they get Time Walk.
That is actually a very valid plan of play.
I'm thinking through the interesting lines of actually how you win this without using just the Time Walk combo, because Time Walk combo is I got it. I think
this is nothing to do with us.
Tap Waterlogged Grove 5 more times and kill themselves. They can tap Waterlogged Grove 5 more times to kill themselves.
Yeah.
This is absolutely nothing to us with. This has nothing to do with us being idiots. We just figured everyone knew this. Clearly.
No, the Time Walk loop we've seen 3 or 4 times on stream today. So I mean, it's
but with no cards in hand, we probably should just mention you get the Time Walk loop here.
You could, yeah. But if you're gonna do it, you still do it main 1, right? I mean,
I don't know why you attack first. That's the part that isn't.
Because they did have a while no cards in hand. Yep.
Yeah.
Then you get to play.
I guess they wanted to draw the extra card off of Wall of Omens. I guess they needed to hit the land. They need to hit the land.
It's a 6 land play. It's a 6-land play is what the issue it comes down to. But you don't have a 2-drop in place, you can't Neo form it, so you need to go from the ground up with probably like an Eldritch Evolution or an Eldritch Evolution.
Is it even actually? Because if you just Eldritch Evolution, get Spirit Keeper, get Time Walk, cast Time Walk, attack, blink the Spirit, get the Keeper, and then get the Ephemerate to cast.
I guess with Ghosty Flicker, you could have just Ghosty Flickered the spell.
And then you can actually you don't even get that. You just get the.
You can get Regrowth. The issue you want is you want to do it off Neo form, so you can conserve on mana on a 2-drop. Is generally the ideal way of doing it. You can go for a Regrowth off of a Flicker from the Brago next turn to get Time Walk, whilst also finding off of the Upkeep, Ephemerate, and Eldamri's Call to find the
exactly
Eternal Witness, which then casts for 3. +1 off Ephemerate, +2 off Time Walk, which does require exactly 6 mana. So it is a 6-mana combo. I promise you of that. I've done it a lot of times. So like that way of combo.
I do think the Brago did make it so that we could combo with just 5, but I didn't go through the lines.
You know, it's Regrowth into grab Time Walk with Regrowth into attack on the following turn. Get the
like you say, we just get
It's a 6-mana combo. Like it is a 6-mana combo at its core. Like the only ways you can make it cheaper are via
that Ephemerate is in a graveyard.
Because it's the Time Walk turn. It's the Time Walk turn.
Yeah. Right. Yeah. Duh.
So they're going to get the Eldamri's Call now. But like the way that it typically runs, there's only 2 ways to make it cheaper than 6, and it's via Neoform and Unearth. You can use Unearth with any sort of Entomb effect or Gamble effect to put the Seeker in the bin and then unearth it, which can actually make it a lot cheaper to go through the whole line. But there's not a ton of ways to do it that are less than 6. There's a couple.
I figured the Brago here could like save you like the Ephemerate for some time, allowing you to do it for 5.
Yeah.
Again, I didn't go through the lines, but
yeah, no. This is you see the line playing out. There's the Regrowth. There's the Eldamri's Call, so they can regrowth the Time Walk. They're going to take another damage off this line more than likely because they have a Pain Land in hand.
Cast the Call, get the loop.
Call, get the silly Eternal Witness. Just don't tap wrong. Yep, I didn't tap wrong. Like checking their mana. One of the things you could do in this deck, get this doofus, and then this doofus loops.
Yeah. So, notably, they kind of still want to be like they're going down to 2 life.
Doesn't matter. It doesn't matter because the mana requirements become much less at this point. It becomes 3 at this point. So after you take this turn, you're going to take 1 more down to 2, and then you just have to spend 3 mana.
I could have really
you can get perhaps like some
if he held this Wild Slash in hand.
Well, yeah, it's possible.
Yeah, like even if you feel like it, you can path to exile your Braco or some shit at some point.
Yeah, it's possible they could have gotten it with the Wild Slash. I think killing off the Planeswalker that was drawing them cards is probably a more relevant play, though. I mean, I don't think I fault them for that line of play, but
that's all. That was the last
there
match.
We go.
Still going. So yeah. That's it for today's event. Let's see. I'm gonna wait for the last results to trickle in. Einstein got it though. Einstein. Well, we could have not have a clear winner, honestly, because we had a 9v. We only had one person at 9 point going into the last round, but Einstein did get the 4-0, so congratulations to Einstein for piloting their deck, or in this case, Bailite's deck. Hit 12 PC 4-0. So yeah, that's exciting. I want to thank everybody that has subbed today. Bailite's in chat. Bailite. You weren't here for the whole tournament, and now the tournament has ended, and you're here. This does not help us dispel the theory that you and Einstein are the same person. I think that the theory is still live. With that said, I want to congratulate Einstein. I want to thank everybody who has been watching, and specifically I want to congratulate everybody that has been subscribing. It means the world to us that it means the word to us for people when people decide to throw their $5 our way. It helps us keep the channel going. And yeah, if you wanted to, if you're not currently subscribed and you wanted to, I'm just putting it out there that's an option, especially if you have your Prime sub. You know, that should go to somebody. Just putting it out there. With that said, if you want to join next week's event, !next event has the link. We will briefly put, we'll shortly put the link on our website as well. Also, I would like to remind everybody this tournament is run from the Canadian Highlander Discord. So if you want to join, !Discord will get you there. If you're new to the format, it's a wonderful way to actually get in touch with the community. Is super is going to be super helpful to help you get going. And if you just want to join the event in your own Discord, that's where all the announcements go up. So it's it's kind of what we use as a base to run the tournament to begin with. So that's going to help. Also, with that said, I think we are going to sign off for the day. I kind of had a raid to NZD MTG lined up, but then he went offline, like Capital Host last week. I'm trying to diversify my raiding portfolio, but other creators apparently are really good at not letting it happen. So we are gonna...
Let me check something. Let's see if anyone is live. Actually, I think I might have someone who we could host.
Okay. I was going to raid engineering, but what is
who did you mention before? Sorry, just out of clarity.
So there was NZD MTG. Anurag Das is a legacy player that does videos for Channel Fireball. I saw he was online with like a significantly lower amount of viewers than Engineering or Surge, and was like, yeah, I like his content. I'll throw my viewers his way. I'm sure that he'll appreciate it, but I'm also down to support smaller creators if you have somebody specific in mind.
Yeah, I was checking the Gladiator, and there's someone called Zero Dying who might be live right now with some Gladiator.
How do you spell that?
And while saying like Canadian Highlander, it's the closest we're gonna get, most likely.
That's true. How do you spell that?
It's Zero Dying. I'm not sure if they're live. I haven't checked.
Can you tell me how to spell
that? Capital C. ERO, capital D, YING.
YING.
Let's see if they're live.
This content is unavailable. CERODIING. Is that correct?
I'm gonna send you the link.
Marco, Z as in zero.
Oh.
As in the number, not C.
Well, you know. No, they
do not appear to be.
They're no longer. It's fine. We'll just go raid Benjineer.
Yeah, you're right. They're no longer live.
We'll just go raid Benjineer. They went down like 20 minutes ago. We'll go raid Benjineering. Benjineering is awesome. I always love raiding him in Surge. So let's do that. The only reason I was going to go somewhere else is just that they're less likely to like need a raid of like 17 viewers, right? Like it's just a matter of like if somebody has like 20 viewers in their channel, we can kind of make their day. But I love raiding people that are Canadian Highlander humans too. So let's do that. And
sadly, there's not that many of those people who stream.
Those people are not streaming Canadian Highlander, but there's a couple of people that are live. So yeah, we will see all of you next week. Thanks for watching, and we will talk to you soon. Bye.